And welcome back to episode 3 of Under the Shade. I am Daniel. Michael and Jed are no longer here with us on this planet.
R.I.P.
I have yeeted them into space.
God bless.
It was an autoerotic asphyxiation accident. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah. Pretty awful. But today, back with us is Alex.
Hey, it's your
aka
boy,
Klex.
Klex Bennett, come to you live.
Yep. And new face, Angelo.
My name's Angelo Bombardier, and I'm happy to be here.
And Angelo, or
Angelo underscore bomb. If
you
you're
know,
looking.
until just now, whenever you said your last name again,
Yeah.
I didn't realize why it was bomb.
I think it's just I love blowing things up. I have this whole like.
See, I thought it was just because you like blowing things.
No, every
Well,
time he comes to my
but-
house, my toilet, not safe.
Yeah.
Blown up.
Well, he has a really special toilet.
It's
though.
not.
It's special.
Mhm.
It's a black toilet bowl toilet. Like how
Mhm.
often do you see that?
Not often.
You got to blow that up.
I just don't want to see my
You don't
pee.
get that opportunity a lot.
I want to see the color
You
of my
got to take
pee.
it while you can.
So my grandpa had built himself his own bathroom and did all pink appliances. So like his stand-up shower is pink. He had an in-ground jacuzzi tub, his toilet, sink, everything pink
That's fire.
with gold, and it was hideous.
What year was this?
He built it like
60s.
he built it whenever we first moved to West Virginia, which was like mid 90s, early to mid 90s.
You know what? I can see that.
You know what?
Yeah.
To him, that was probably his dream, and you're
Oh, yeah.
and you're shitting on
That
it
is true.
when he was shitting in it, and
That's
that's
fine.
messed up.
You know, it happens. Anyway, so Angelo,
Yes, sir.
tell us what you do with like 13 palm trees. Like you are probably the newest member. I don't even know how to
I'd
phrase
say
it.
so.
He's the newest cult member. Sure.
I'm
The
more
cult member.
I'm more of like a side dish to 13 palm trees, you know, like I'm not part of like I'd say the main content team, but I'm like the side content team. So I do a little bit of streaming on Twitch, hopefully maybe getting into YouTube soon if I can get Daniel to help me, you know.
I've literally offered to help, and you literally have not gotten me any content to edit.
Mhm.
So that's on you.
Mhm.
Yep, checks out.
That doesn't sound like me.
Angelo's like, I need everybody to do everything for me, please. Thank you.
But
That'd be
He
great.
is literally Jed. Like, I want this done, but I'm not willing to help in any meaningful
you know,
way.
I produce the golden content and I don't know what else you need from me. That's all
I
I'm
need
saying.
the files.
Effort.
That sounds
The
like a lot of work.
.mp4 would be preferable.
But my name's Angelo Bombardier. I stream on Twitch at Angelo_bomb. Just recently kind of got into it. I think I've been streaming for a couple months. I really enjoyed doing it. Didn't think it'd be anything more than just having fun with it. But then, you know, through Michael being a good friend of mine, and I guess Daniel's all right, getting kind of put into the 13 palm trees realm of things, it feels cool to have like a purpose to create the content that I enjoy doing.
What's that like? Feeling like you have a purpose?
Well, so as you can see, I really clung on to something that really isn't much of a purpose.
Mhm.
It's because it's the first time that I've even had the hint of a purpose. So it's like I gotta grab this and pretend like it's a lot bigger than what
Yeah.
it is.
That's what I do with
Yeah.
my dick. So,
Ooh.
anyway. So, you said you've been streaming for I feel like it's gonna turn into an interview. Like it's going to.
I'm ready
So
for
Yeah, I mean,
feel
that's kind of what
Yes.
the first,
I've-
yeah.
I'm ready for the interview. I brought my resume.
So you've been streaming, you said a couple months.
I think I just got people's 7th month anniversary on.
It's more than a couple months.
Yeah.
Hey, I
7th
hit
month.
6 of those months.
Yeah,
I'll
you
have
missed
know.
one. I don't know how or why or when.
I'm trash. I
The
don't know what
point
you
is,
want.
you need to pay me the money for that.
I donated a lot of money to stream and bits.
I donated yesterday, actually.
You did.
And somebody gifted me a sub like a few weeks ago.
You're welcome.
Nice.
Yeah,
I don't
thank
know
you.
who it was, but
Yeah,
it's probably
but-
Scythe. So Scythe, if you're hearing
Yeah.
this, thank you for gifting the sub.
Yes. I don't know what that does. I've never understood it, but okay.
The sub is like you don't see the ads
Oh,
when you're watching my stream.
you actually have ads on your stream?
Yeah. Anytime.
Really?
So
yeah,
like,
you know, they skim out to anybody
so when you
nowadays.
become when you become partnered, they immediately
Okay.
start running ads for you, and then
Okay.
you get paid by like the ads. So like I don't think it's a significant amount,
Mhm.
but it just I don't know if there's a way to actually turn them off. I have it turned down to the lowest of frequencies, but I don't know if there's a way to actually fully turn them
Yeah,
off since Twitch has to like
every time I've joined your stream, I've never gotten an ad.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause,
I try to keep it off because
Yeah.
that's not like the whole reason why I'm streaming at all.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't
like,
really.
it doesn't bother me because it's not like YouTube. Like if you don't have YouTube Premium or whatever, you
Oh,
don't get
man.
like,
Yeah.
you're not watching like a 5-minute video and get 2 or 3 ad runs.
So
Like,
you
yeah.
watch like a bigger streamer and there's like 15 ad runs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I subscribe to YouTube Premium just for the whole locked phone screen. Nah,
oh, that thing is really nice. Yeah.
it's too nice to pass.
You're
on.
telling why is that behind a paywall though? That's
Yeah,
so
it
stupid.
is.
So
It is
people like
very
him will
dumb.
pay for it.
I
It
don't
is
pay
very
for
dumb.
it.
Yeah.
I just don't use it.
I mean, I don't pay for it either. Jed put me on his family plan.
I
so that's great.
listen. I listen to like a lot of
Privileged.
I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff while I'm at work or like just random stuff on YouTube. So it's nice to be able to
yeah,
set
I
my
mean, I
phone
get
like
it.
away.
It is nice. I'm
It
just
is.
not paying
It is
for
dumb that
Yeah.
that's behind a paywall though.
Yeah.
That does feel like something that should just come with the app.
Yeah.
It's not like YouTube has a lot of competitors.
No, they really don't.
Thehub.com. That's where I'll listen to all my podcasts.
Hey, the hub actually works through your lock screen.
It's good to know.
That way, if you just need to hear some people talk or something.
It's
you know,
actually
like-
awful because if you're trying to like sneak watch porn and then somebody walks in the room and you lock your phone real quick, it's not going to shut off. You're still going to hear it.
Step bro, no.
Oh, I didn't. I get on there just for the articles and the dialogue, so I don't
Yeah.
actually make.
Hey,
it.
You're
this
a
is, it isn't a
story porn
Playboy, all right? They
Yeah.
actually had real stories in there.
Actually, not to go too much of a tangent, but can we talk about how every time you go to the hub, it's 90% step bro stuff?
I don't really frequent porn sites, but sure.
But like, why is that there? Why is that such a popular stigma? in today's-
It's popular for a reason. People watch it.
You think they only watch it because it's the only thing we got, though?
If you've been on the internet, there is everything for anyone.
that is fair.
Not on the front page of the hub. There's just
If you're just
step-
staying on the front
okay,
page,
so-
you're wasting your time.
So let me ask a question: Is it ran kind of like YouTube's rants, or you're on the home page of YouTube? It's basically like what you enjoy watching, and that's like what comes up.
Wait a minute.
I
So maybe
don't know if
it's
there's an
that.
algorithm or not. I don't
So-
have an account.
To be
So,
fair, you
I
should be in
don't know.
incognito mode anyway, so it should reset every
That's
time.
fair.
See, I think I am an incognito.
He's not. He totally
I'm
isn't.
not.
Yeah,
Anyway, I
Probably
checked his
watching it on
cookies
your-
and
I'm
just-
watching it on your Wi-Fi right now, actually, underneath the table.
stop going all the way over there. You're gonna keep going out of frame.
Sorry. You know, I'm tall.
Just scoot closer to me. Just there we
Terrible.
go. That's
Now
perfect.
it smells bad in here.
That's fine. It's just me.
All right, so back to the serious question here. You're
Yes.
asking something about how long I've been streaming.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
So I got into streaming, I'd say I don't have a backrest here.
That chair really sucks.
Yeah, we're going to do the casual layback.
you can move the mic closer to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this thing moves.
Just
Yeah.
make me look like a fat. Here we go.
Well, the
You
mic
that
didn't
turd.
do that, but
Okay, here we go. Started streaming 7 months ago. I got into it because I really enjoyed streaming on Discord and like having people watch like when I played games. Thought that was cool. Like you make a good play in a video game or like you're doing something interesting. It's nice to be able to share that with somebody so you could talk about it. I have a cousin who was really big into always wanting to create content, but he never wanted to make the jump himself. He just wanted to be a part of it. And so through him kind of like nudging me in that direction, me finally having a good enough computer to do so, it just felt like the right time to do it. I really enjoyed streaming, but I don't really care about the money or anything that comes with that. I enjoy streaming because I enjoy meeting people, creating like a community, getting bigger with the community and having people to play games with, having people to talk to about things that have common interests as you. Because if they're watching the games that you're playing, they're probably interested in that game. So it's just nice to have an audience and have a group of people that you could talk to about some of the things that you're interested.
Yeah.
When I first really got into streaming, I kind of used it as a little bit of an escape. Like it's really easy to get bogged down with work and stuff and, you know, having to deal with everyday problems. Not that I have a ton of them and there's definitely people out there that have it way worse. But, you know, it's just nice to have that little escape. So like to turn on my stream camera, my screen recordings and stuff, and then just to focus on that and not really focus on like the things outside of the computer screen was kind of nice. I've been incredibly lucky to meet a lot of cool people. People just from playing games. So, you know, popping in, wanting to say hi after like a good game or something like that. And some of these people will probably be friends long after I quit streaming, or if I continue streaming. I imagine they're the kind of people that would stick around through the whole thing, and been pretty fortunate to be able to grow my community with people that are actually interested in what I'm doing. I think the big reason for that is from day one, I made it very clear. I'm like, hey, I'm not here for the money. I don't care about that. I don't care about producing a lot of content. I want to produce good content. I want to produce something that I'm enjoying doing so that you can enjoy it as a viewer. So to break it down a little bit, I had to take a break here recently. I was streaming. So when I first started streaming, I did way better than I ever expected to do. I had a lot of friends show up and show out, and we started off really hot streaming, and I kind of pushed myself a little bit. I started streaming 7 days a week, started really just playing games that I thought were going to bring more people in to try to force this community aspect. And I wasn't really enjoying what I was doing a couple months in. And it wasn't because of the people, it wasn't because of what I was doing. I wasn't doing what I wanted to do. I was doing what I thought would get the best results.
Yeah.
So I had to take a little bit of a break, and we actually worked on my PC, did some upgrades, took a little mental health break, and we just started back up this week. And I think yesterday was our first or second serious stream since we came back, and a lot of people showed up and stuff. And it just kind of was a little reminder why I like doing it so much. Yeah. And that's why I also say, like, I don't want to be necessarily a main content person for 13 Palm Trees, because there's going to be days that I want to just go do what I want to do, or I want to go, like, I'm really big into disc golf, if you guys know what disc golf is, or frisbee golf, if you will. And sometimes I want to be able to step away from the computer and do those things, or focus on things that I want to do outside of that. So I don't want to, like, commit to something, because then I'll feel like I let people down if I want to take some personal time away from some things.
Yeah. Well, I get that whole, like, needing a break sometimes, like, being like there for the longest time. I was releasing 3 videos a week, and on YouTube, and like at that point I wasn't working, so it wasn't really that big of a deal for me to sit and play games and then, like, you know, edit all the time. But once I got a job and started working every day and trying to do YouTube, and then, you know, 13 Palm Trees finally kind of got back off the ground around the same time. So there was more projects for me to be working on. It just kind of got overwhelming, and then it stopped being fun and enjoyable and started feeling like a chore. So you don't ever want what you enjoy to get to that point, because it's just,
as soon as it starts feeling like a job, that whole part where I'm talking about it's a good stress reliever, it's a good escape, it goes right out the door.
Yeah.
It just feels like that continuous grind starts from your actual job or your actual day into that, and then you never actually get that rest or that relief. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think I'm still working on it. I'm still working with my admins and moderators, trying to create a streaming schedule that works for me. Because I don't know how you feel about it, but the worst feeling in the world is like, hey, I'm going to stream this day at this time, and then something happens and I can't be there that day, that time. I immediately just feel terrible. Mm-hmm. It puts me in like a manic state of depression, even though it's probably not even that big of a deal. Mm-hmm. People probably are very understanding, but it just feels so bad to let people down, especially when people are subscribing or like paying you to make content or want to be a part of your content. Mm-hmm. It feels really bad to have to let them down. So I'm trying to come back with this revamped. And with that being said, I still love what I'm doing. I still love streaming. I still love creating content. I love being part of 13 Palm Trees. And I also want to go ahead and say this. When I say that not part of the main content team, it's not because 13 Palm Trees is demanding a lot from me. I'm putting the restrictions on myself. Like, I want to just, not commit to having to do a lot of stuff until it's for sure what I want to do, especially with it being nice outside.
We're not like some big conglomerate that's like, you have to produce content and you have to have this much. It's like, if you don't want to do it, then
because if that was the case,
we'll just take you off the website and stuff. It's not a big deal. Right. It's not. I mean, it's just, we're not going to promote you.
Right.
Well, yeah,
obviously, yeah.
So it's just, and we're not, we're still growing as a company, and it's not.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear that it's not like you guys were putting any expectations.
No,
on me. I'm just purposely not putting expectations on myself. But if there were expectations, Alex would be doomed. He's 3 YouTube videos in like 18 months. What's going on over there, bub?
Hey,
you
know
do a
what?
lot more than just YouTube stuff. Like, as far as you do photography and things like that too.
Yeah,
right?
I got a lot going on behind the scenes. If you had watched the second episode, you'd probably know about it.
Well, I've been.
Oh, well, he didn't because he's trash.
I listen, there are certain podcasts to like. I'm sad to hear my favorite horror movie breakdown hasn't been coming around.
Hey, don't you turn this around on someone else.
But that one,
I got way more shit to talk about you. Coming up, more shit to talk about Angelo.
Or don't tune in if that's not interesting.
So you guys are related.
Yeah, that's my brother.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just so everybody out there knows.
It would be incest, if you're wondering.
Yes, but it's West Virginia. It's okay. Like,
No, that's a Tennessee thing, man. Come on.
Sweet home
I mean, you know, it is
Alabama.
what it is. Depending on where you're from, it's West Virginia. Then there's like Arkansas. There's Alabama, Tennessee. You know, it just really depends on where you're from.
Right. Let's see how many people we can offend in one go. And
It's fun. But anyway,
We know our stereotypes and we live by. All right.
that is true. It's what we're good at.
so do you have anything new coming up, Alex?
Yes, I have a couple exciting projects, actually. There's this big summer project. I don't want to get, I mentioned it in the second one a little bit. I don't want to give too much away about it, but it's going to be a huge video project. There'll be like things created and a huge collaboration with a lot of people. So really excited for that. I hope it kicks off the ground. We're just kind of waiting on one person to get a certain shop done. If that's any sort of hint for you, local people might know.
I'm actually really excited for that.
Oh my God. I really hope it comes together the way I want it to. I've talked to the person that's going to be doing the main part of it, and they're hyped about it. And like, I've been wanting to do that for a long time. So
This
hopefully,
is like the first time you're going to be doing something big like this, right?
yeah, this is probably like my biggest project because
Yeah.
it'll be pictures, video, audio. It'll be a lot of people involved.
Mhm.
So pretty excited about that. More to come on that if it happens. I'll start. Obviously, I'm gonna have a whole video of the behind the scenes and everything. So make sure to check out the Patreon. I have been doing more Mortal Kombat videos. I got one done and submitted over to this guy. So hopefully see that soon. Get another one up on the Patreon here
To
soon.
be fair, there's like 4 sitting in queue. Like,
It is true. I do. Well, that's my thing. I'm trying to build up a couple, and I've been
Yeah,
releasing one about once every couple weeks to just,
Mhm.
you know, get your little feet wet. But bigger projects I'm working on,
Mm.
other than Mortal Kombat videos. I really still want to do the Ghostface video. I've got all the masks for it. I've just been kind of getting creative, coming up with some ideas, working on that. But another big project that's coming up here soon is a GoldenEye shoot.
I'm so excited for that.
I recently got a Steam Deck and I've been playing GoldenEye. I do own the cartridge legally for anybody wondering. But I've been really just going through replaying that game. Also, 00 Agent is super hard. As a kid, I feel like it wasn't that bad. Now I'm putting it on like easy mode, like
Well,
Agent, to
you're
get
playing
through
it
there.
on Steam Deck too. So like,
Oh, it's crisp and it's smooth and it handles
the
better.
controls
It's
okay?
way better.
because
Really?
like
It is so much better.
I've got it. Like I've got the cartridge, but I've also got it through the Nintendo Shop on Switch or whatever, like the 64 emulator that's
Right.
on there, and the controls for that suck. I
Oh, no,
cannot
they do.
play it.
Well, here's what's cool about the Steam Deck. So I'm going to go into some real GoldenEye lore here. So if you open up your watch and you go to the control scheme, typically Honey 1.1 is good for the 64 controller.
Mhm.
The Steam Deck has 2, thumbsticks. If you set it to 1.2, you can set it to where each axis, like you can move with this one, but then you can actually move your
so you
aim.
can like
Right. You can go in. Well, the Steam community is amazing too. There's like custom profiles and all kinds of cool stuff you can download and really make yourself more immersed into the experience. That
Yeah.
it runs at like 60 FPS, I think. So,
What?
dude, it's crisp. It's so clean.
that game is
It's
60
Listerine.
FPS.
Yeah, dude, it's incredible, actually. Yeah. So I've been replaying through it and I really got motivated. So I went out last week and I bought a Walther PPK. That's the, James Bond's iconic little pistol. So I'm really excited to get that in.
Did you get a silencer too? Because that'd be dope.
Dude, listen. So I looked into getting a silencer, and that is such a pain.
Oh,
you have
yeah.
to pretty much turn your life over to the government. I mean, not that I haven't already, but
They know everything about you anyway.
I mean, yeah, basically. But yeah, it's just a huge hassle.
Yeah.
And then at any time they can like come in your house and search and be like, did you kill people? Like, we did check your silencer. And I don't know. I thought about trying to like 3D print one or get a replica one just for the shoot, but a real one's just out of the
I feel like
question.
3D printing one wouldn't be too bad.
Well, yeah, if you
could find-
painted it right,
Yeah.
it's just a little barrel essentially.
Well, not even like 3D print an actual silencer, just something that looks like it that you can
Right,
attach. Yeah.
That's kind of what I'll try to play around and see.
Yeah.
But also ordered a GoldenEye watch. It looks exactly like the HUD or whatever from the game, and I'm gonna bring a 64 controller and a bunch of other little props to really make
So
it.
are you going to have somebody like dressed as James Bond, or is
So-
it just going to be like the props?
Yeah, so my thing, I love doing cosplay shoots, but I mostly just do cosplay shoots for me. Or if somebody's like, hey, dude, well, you should, like Ryan, for instance, say, hey, I'm going to dress up as such and such. Yeah, that's totally cool. But as far as for me making content, making videos, and just selling my prints in general, no one really cares about the cosplay pictures. But everybody loves the prop pictures because it gives you more of the sense of the killer, of James Bond, of whoever, I'm taking pictures of.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm going to keep the spirit of. Not that I'm going to stop doing cosplay pictures, but just the props are way more impactful. They're just, I don't know, way more meaning, I guess.
I think like just from thinking about it, like having like the silhouette or like, a hand that's got obviously like the suit on that's like holding the gun.
Yeah.
Things like that to where it's not like the full person, but it's like,
the idea of that person
Yeah.
is just way more powerful.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that's just like any horror movie, though. Like, if you see the killer X amount of times, it really devalues it. But if you see the killer for like 2 seconds for that whole film, how like powerful is that 2
It's like
seconds?
the first Freddy Krueger movie.
Well, he's in it 12 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm like,
of
my
the whole
God.
movie. but it works. It's still like scary.
Yeah,
it's
no, I mean, I
it's the
get it.
idea of the villain.
It is. It is.
Also, how are we going to talk about Goldeneye and not talk about you abusing Oddjob when we were kids?
Well,
Dude,
hey,
we
listen,
had
no,
we had a rule
Hold on.
As kids, nobody was allowed to use Oddjob.
Yeah, he only
No,
played
let's
Oddjob.
just talk about
Well,
something.
look at him. He's
Let's-
like 4 feet
Thank
tall.
you. Let's talk about it in
He's
real
just
life.
getting into-
I'm just being my character IRL. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
you
I'm
knew there was a
5'6",
tactical
5'7".
advantage.
Angelo is 6'4", so
Yeah.
he's Jaws. He has to play as Jaws.
Yeah.
He's over there shooting me in the gut, and I'm trying to like use my wonky Nintendo 64.
I hope the audio aim
controller.
kicks in anyway. Audio aim's disabled on his controller.
We used to have so much fun playing GoldenEye.
Oh, absolutely! I
Man.
love like the paintball mods, the golden
Yeah.
gun.
Dude,
like,
I'm going back through trying to unlock some of those cheats, and you have to like
Dude, it's
speed run through them. It
difficult.
is
Yeah.
difficult. It's like, oh, do it on 00 Agent with your eyes closed and your nipples out. And I'm like, that's oddly specific to get the invincibility cheat or
What?
DK mode.
The government's just watching you through a peephole, like just
with the Steam Deck, are you able to do any like the Game Shark stuff, like the old Game Shark stuff?
There is a emulator like application called RetroArch where
Yeah.
it can emulate a lot of games. It has a built-in Game Shark for a lot of those consoles, and you just have to put in the code and then you boot
That's
the
pretty
game.
cool.
Because if you remember, whenever we use Game Sharks in the past, you would essentially inject those codes into the memory, and then you would hot swap your game in real quick, right? So obviously you can't do that. So it just has that built-in functionality. Years of modding and the community has come together.
The
So
only
it's
thing
sick.
I remember about the Game Shark is having to blow on it constantly.
Well, that was for the 64
Yeah,
version.
64,
yeah.
64. That's all I remember.
Well, it was ridiculous because you had the 64 cartridge or the Game Shark cartridge, then you put your cartridge on top of it, so
Yeah.
it would pass through.
Yeah.
Don't accidentally roundhouse that thing.
Then what game was it? Was it Sonic, or that you had the 3 different ones to put so you could play different characters? Did you guys ever mess with that one? I think
No,
it was
I
Sonic.
wasn't really a big Sonic.
What
We didn't have
console?
Sega.
I think it was Nintendo 64. No, because Sonic's not on 64.
Well, it's
Right.
Sonic's a Nintendo character now, but he initially
It
was
was Sega.
Might have been on
Right.
Sega then,
Yeah.
but I remember there was something that you had to plug in 3 attachments to be able to play as Knuckles, and
Huh.
I remember having it as a kid.
I have no
I had to
idea.
do some more research.
Hey, chat or
Chat.
whomever.
Let us know in the comments down below.
Hey, chat. I've been spending too much time on Twitch.
Yeah.
I
We
can't
need
help
to
it.
get him streaming on Twitch. He's got the webcam. He's got the
Listen,
cool
I've-
dark room.
I got into streaming
He's
like
got all the props.
2015, 2016 when I first built my computer. I was way underpowered at the time. Obviously, I had like a crap graphics card, like bare bones minimum. You know, I worked a minimum wage job, so I did what I could. I don't know. I just never really cared much for it. It just that's why I always really like YouTube because it
Yeah.
can be a little more rehearsed and edited, and I'm just not good in live situations.
That's why I really want to get into YouTube as well. Not like as a full-time commitment thing, but it just would be nice to like, hey, I want to stream 3 days this week, and then maybe I'll release a YouTube video. I feel like it'd be a little less.
Well, what you could do is just take like
Restricting. Yeah.
all 3 of those videos, kind of cut them down to like a 10-minute video. 10 minutes, like pretty much the average. And then
Yeah.
if you want to be extra Gucci with it, you take clips from that and then make them YouTube shorts. And then you take that and put it on TikTok, Instagram
Yeah.
Reels, yada. It's just so much work.
It's a ton of work.
It is a ton of work,
It's
and it's just
ridiculous.
like, you know, I like TikTok and it's fun, and Instagram Reels, whatever. They're all the same thing. Or YouTube Shorts, it's all the same
it's
thing.
The same.
And it sucks because now every major, you know, social media outlet is like, if you're not doing this, you're
Yeah.
not going to be in the algorithm.
Yeah.
Your stuff's not going to get viewed.
hmm
That's the one thing that I've noticed with streaming too is you really have to be mentally prepared for what you're going into, because it's a very, I don't want to say toxic community, but the whole way that you'd have to grow through just streaming would be very mentally taxing. Like,
Oh yeah.
there's no like for Twitch, for instance, like there's no way, you know, if you go in there and you have 5, 6, 7, 10 viewers, someone's going to have to spin their mouse wheel about 15 times or unclock their mouse wheel and just let that bad boy roll just to be able to find you.
Oh yeah. It just goes
And-
by top viewers.
I think that's why, like, if you ever were taking it serious, like I said, for me, I'm not really in it for like the whole money aspect at all. But if you ever were taking it serious or trying to make a career out of it, I think you would have to get into TikTok. I think you would have to get into YouTube Shorts.
Did you
Instagram
just say
Reels.
thick talk?
Maybe?
You'd have to have like somebody that would.
You need
Like
a
somebody-
dedicated social media manager.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah, you
and
do.
it's sad. But well, here's the plus side to it though. If you get popular on one platform
Yeah.
somehow,
Yeah.
Every other platform, you're just boom, instantly popular on.
Yeah.
Takes 2 seconds.
Well, it's like that. There's a guy that used to stream just on Twitch. His name was Insum. I mean, he still does it. Just did Phasmo stuff, and I saw him on Twitch, and then next thing you know, he had a YouTube channel where he was just posting his streams. Now his YouTube blew up, so it's like, you know, and all he does is just take his streams, and like during his stream, he'll just be like, okay, right now we're going to start, and like let his viewers know, like we're going to start a YouTube video right now, and then he'll just start it and then end it, and then that's where he'll cut the video and just put the whole thing in there, like a little editing of things, you know, if he's got to use the bathroom or something like that. But you know,
well, I really enjoy that too because I don't always have access to Twitch.
Yeah.
So if there's a Twitch streamer I really like their content, but they're going to put it on YouTube for me to watch like a day later or whatever, I'm totally down for that because then, you know, I do this all the time. If I can't find somebody on Twitch that I normally watch, they're not online, but I want to eat food. Like, you know, all right, well, I guess I'm going to go on YouTube. Who's the last streamer? Oh, okay. Tyler One uploaded something yesterday. Yeah, I'm going to put on his 15-minute video while I eat.
Yeah.
I definitely think that is like the easier way of things because it's hard to commit like a time frame to sit there and watch somebody on Twitch. Like, say I want to support one of my friends or something like that, and then they stream every day or like every other day around 6. It's like I'm not always going to be available. Or they stream nights,
and you're like, my God.
Yeah, I'm not always going to be available. So if there's like some way to support them without having to tune in live every time, I think that's why you see a lot of those big name people that have the YouTubes and things like that that came from Twitch. Their YouTube channels are way more popular than the Twitch because it's just less of a commitment.
Yeah.
Like being able to pop in when you want, whenever you want to consume content on your time or when you're available. It's just way easier that way.
Yeah.
And I do think that I will be making the push to do some YouTube stuff.
So like, okay, so with your YouTube stuff, like, did you want to take parts of your stream and do it, or were you wanting to like do videos strictly for YouTube?
So this is a weird bridge that I'm trying to gap. But I really want to like do disc golf stuff, and I really want to do video games things. I don't think either one of those things clash or like work well together. But I think it would be cool to just have a different part of my YouTube that's like, you could see what I'm doing on an everyday life. Like, hey, I didn't stream in like 3 days.
Listen, prime example though, like Tyler One. Yeah. He had just a lifting, because he lifts a lot. He had a lifting stream, and it went absolutely bananas. Like, everybody's like, oh, dude. He plays League full time.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's out of the realm of like possibility.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't like, he's a really popular Twitch streamer. Even you've probably seen a meme of him. He's like a man. He has a man-child almost like demeanor to him. It's probably all fake and whatever, but it's hilarious. I love watching him. He's toxic as sin. It's great. But well, I mean, like even my channel though, you know, I do photography, I do cosplay, and I do video games. And sometimes those three just pinnacle like boop. But then sometimes I'm just, here's a Mortal Kombat tutorial for you because I really enjoyed these as a kid. And I want people to, hey, maybe, you don't know how to do that combo or that finishing move from forever ago? Well, here you go.
See, I don't know how you do that. Like having 3 different like genres of things on one channel, because like my channel, I feel bad about doing like, okay, there's Minecraft and there's horror and then there's this. It's like, you know, like because like I don't know, I just feel like it's, you know, if you're like known as this type of, like you play this type of game or do this type of content.
I completely, I understand like that's probably a negative on my channel as a matter of fact, because some guy that's there for Mortal Kombat tutorials, he's like, what is this video about Leatherface? I don't care.
But there's a chance too that some guy's there for like a Mortal Kombat tutorial and he's like, oh, this is pretty cool that he's also into these things.
So this actually comes back to our earlier argument. I do it because I enjoy doing it. Will I ever blow up? Will I ever be like popular? I don't, maybe I'd like to, you know. But if not, I have a lot of content that I made that I actually am like, wow, I really like this content that I made. I'm proud of it. So that's kind of why I do it. No, it doesn't make sense for an algorithm point of view at all. But I'm like, it's my channel. I'll do what I want.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, and I think another thing too is like you're not really committed to like one serious thing too. Like for you for instance is like, you know, I'm party B, like the gaming side of things.
Yeah.
So people want to come there and see your gaming side of things. It's like Clex Bennett. Like I don't think your YouTube's Clex Bennett photography. It's just
Clex Bennett.
Yeah. So that, I mean that could be anything that he wants to be. And and when I create my YouTube, I definitely want to just reuse a lot of my Twitch stuff for just the convenience aspect of it. But I also want to have a more personable side where like maybe have, I don't know if I've never messed with YouTube, but maybe you can split it up to have 2 different like topics of things. It's like,
well, you can do like playlists.
Yeah, you can make different playlists.
So I'd have like a playlist of what I do like outside of gaming. Like, and that's really something I want to get into is like bridging this gap.
Like a vlog.
Yeah, I genuinely like a vlog is what
that's
I'm thinking.
That's what you should do like for your shorts.
Yeah.
You know, because like that would be, a good way to show that off because, people's attention spans aren't great anymore. That's why TikTok and things like that are so popular, is that you get your 10, 15 second, and I catch myself doing it, even though I try not to, but like if I'm scrolling through like an Instagram reel and it's longer than like 15 seconds, I just scroll away. Like I just, it's just the way our minds
I'll spend 3 hours on TikTok, but watch a 3 hour long movie and I'm like, that Drake meme,
I find myself waking up and then it takes 15 minutes of like YouTube shorts to really start moving around.
Well, yeah, like I do it right before bed. People do it right before when they wake up in the morning. I totally get it.
But see, I used to consume Vine a lot. Like I was a big Vine.
Well, yeah, Vine was great.
Oh yeah, Vine was awesome.
Vine dropped the ball, not sticking around. I don't know why they.
I think there was weird
maybe
legal issues, or
maybe there was something like that.
Know.
But if they just dropped the ball because they never thought it was never going to get big, they definitely dropped.
I think it was already getting big at its prime. Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened.
I don't either. I don't want to sit here and act like they just chose to get out of it, but I really liked Vine, so like I still actually don't have a TikTok. It's not for not for one of those like conspiracy theories or anything like that. I actually purposely have never downloaded TikTok because I find myself watching YouTube shorts for so long that
found out Vine was unwilling to test monetization options, resulting in a lack of revenue for the company. That's why they shut down.
Good for them.
Good for them. I think.
Well, TikTok's like, anyway, money please.
Right.
So I purposely never downloaded TikTok because I already lay in bed for that 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day watching YouTube shorts. And if I had a more accessible platform to watch those things, I'd be in there for an hour, 2 hours. Like,
has YouTube made their own app for shorts yet?
No.
Or is it still within? So
it's still within.
When is that coming? Because that is going to.
Do I have to pay a separate subscription?
Hopefully not.
YouTube finally, because like in order to become a partner, you would have to have over 4,000 watch hours on your channel in a year in a 365 day span. They finally added the shorts.
Oh, nice.
But you have to have 10 million views in 90 days, which I think is absurd.
That is absurd.
Like, of course, with the amount of views that shorts get, like one short can go viral and get 1 million views.
Yeah.
So, like pretty easily. Like, but I don't understand their algorithm because like I'll post one and it'll like blow up and get like 6,097 views. And then I won't get another view on it ever again. So like, I don't understand like how it calculates that. Cause if it's getting all that traction, shouldn't it still be in that feed? I just don't understand.
I will say for my algorithms on my personal thing is like, I'll go through phases of watching different games or streamers on YouTube. So like, let's just say, for example, I'm watching Sea of Thieves. It's a pirate game. I'll watch like one or two Sea of Thieves, like things on YouTube, and then all of my shorts are Sea of Thieves.
Right. Yeah.
So like maybe you're posting, and I can't speak to all of you. I've only seen some of yours, like the big, beautiful butthole one. But
that one was great.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
That one blew up for a bit. I think it got close to 10,000 views.
So like if you create one based around a game, I think when that game gets that popularity and people are on YouTube looking at that game, looking if they want to get into that game, then that short's going to be more accessible to them. As to where like for example, your Choo Choo Train game that you played.
Choo Choo Charles.
Yeah, that game was hilarious to watch, but no one talks about that game anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like it was
it was because it was like a fucking giant open world empty game. Like there was nothing to it.
Correct. But I'm saying if you were on YouTube looking for that content when it was at its peak, then those shorts are going to be more accessible to you as to where.
Well, yeah, I understand that part of it. Like, but I don't understand how like say that one like literally got up to 6,800 views.
Yeah.
Like in a couple hours and then just never got another view. Like I don't understand how it just decides to pull it off of the
YouTube gods.
They're like to the garbage disposal. Like,
yeah, no doubt.
So like you're getting too many views. We can't pay you. Shit. Speaking of watch hours, anybody that's watching this right now needs to go and just turn on my YouTube and just let it play because I need some. I'm hovering right around 2,000 hours. I need it to double.
Oh my god!
You need to start.
It's so annoying.
You need to start promoting it in my Discord.
I feel bad about promoting myself and other people's stuff.
I never.
Isn't there a whole promotion channel though?
Yeah, I have a whole promotion side of things.
Yeah, I mean, it's not illegal.
Not only do I have a promotion
channel.
Yeah, not only do I have a promotion thing, I also have a 13 palm trees one. And I actually post a lot of your stuff.
You didn't tell me that you had a 13 palm trees one in your Discord.
Turns out, if you actually go spend any time in my Discord at all I do is post about 13 palm trees.
Gets called out.
I don't even spend time in my company that I work for's Discord.
I'm never in Discord.
Direct
message me if you need to get a hold of me.
I can't take all the credit though, because Chebeki, or Becca, as you guys know, she does all of the beautiful artwork and stuff. She makes sure to share all the 13 palm trees things and stuff in the Discord, and I enjoy that. And it's like my thing is, and I've said this since day one. Like whenever people come in and they're like, "Hey, I also stream. Can I post that I stream?" and stuff like. if the day ever came that I blew up, which is again, that's not what the goal is, so I'm not striving for it or putting the work in to get to that. But if that day ever came, to me, the joy of bringing as many people up with me would be worth more than the high of getting.
Yeah.
So
But you also have to watch out for that, because then you're gonna have those people that are gonna come in there and abuse that.
that's fine.
So
That's fine. Like
see,
it's
I
not.
won't put up with that kind of stuff. Like
For-
if you want to post your, like I've got promotion channels in mine too. Like that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But like if you come on my YouTube channel and like, oh, I did this but better. Here's my video.
Well, that's
like you're getting.
But see, that's like a
blocked.
derogatory way of doing it,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I wouldn't want someone to come in there and be like, "Hey, I'm better at this than you. Watch
Whoa,
me
wrong
instead." Like I wouldn't want something like that. But if somebody comes in and just like, "Hey, you know, I'm streaming," or if like that's what the whole promote yourself page for me is for my side of things, and then like the 13 palm trees for all the people that are part of 13 palm trees, like I want people to have a place where they can post what they're doing, because you're putting the work in, you're putting the time in, like why not try to get some people to appreciate? Now, I get what you're saying too. Like I wouldn't want somebody to pop in middle of my stream and be like, "Hey, I'm streaming this game too, and I'm a higher rank than you. Everyone come watch me instead."
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's just
It's only acceptable if you do $100 donation.
yeah, that's like you
And
got
then
to at
put your-
least pay me 10 grand.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding. But so for what I do in my Discord actually is, so you have to come in and say you're a streamer and you want to be a part of what I got going on. You have to message me or one of my moderators, admins, and ask for a content creator tag. I'm then going to say, "Hey, you know, what do you do? Is your stuff family friendly?" Like, not that we're completely family friendly, but I don't want someone to feel like they can't watch it because of like I try not to cuss a lot. I obviously think
That's what I
slide,
am too. Yeah.
but like I'm not over there promoting drugs or alcohol or cussing
Yeah.
like that. So like I'm like, "Hey, you know, what is your stream about? What do you enjoy doing? What are some of the things you play?" I might even pop in and watch a little bit of their VODs or something like that. And then I'll give you the content creator tag so that you can post as much as you want in there. And that's just that way, because if I'm promoting something, in a way, it's a direct representation of myself.
Yeah.
Like if I'm allowing somebody to be like, "Hey, come watch my stream, Angelo Bomb's viewers or members," or something like that, and then they go there and it ends up being something terrible or
Right. Well, I mean, that or if they're terrible people. I mean,
Yeah.
there's been people in the past promote them, then all of a sudden, oh, boom, racist. And you're like, oh, God.
God, I don't
Or,
want that
you know,
to
yeah.
directly, you know.
You don't want to be
make people-
associated with that. I
Correct.
mean, that's totally fair. So you got to watch who you promote.
So that's
It's,
why I like the content creator system that we have. So that way you can come in, get your badge, because I want people to promote themselves. I want to see as many people thrive and succeed as possible. Like I am not the least bit competitive at all. Like if I was part of if I was with a group of people and all of their streams blew up but not mine, I wouldn't be the kind of guy to say, "Why isn't mine blowing up?" I'd be the kind of guy to celebrate their victories. Like I want to see as many people succeed, as many people beat the system, as many people beat the algorithm of, you know, where we're trapped at in life sometimes as possible. And like that's just how I am on all things. Like
Yeah.
here's a random example to go to disc golf. So I played in my first ever disc golf tournament last weekend, and a guy that I brought into disc golf, trained him, taught everything I knew. He actually beat me and won the tournament. Shout out to Cole Richards if you're watching this.
Dang it, Cole.
So Cole actually won, and there was like a moment of me that I was like, you know, I really got this guy into it and stuff, and I was bummed out. But that lasted a couple seconds because I was just so happy for him. Like, even though I was bummed out that I didn't perform to the level that I thought I was capable of, I went up, I gave him a hug, told him congratulations, because that's what it's all about. You know, you want to see people succeed. You want to help as many people up as possible in all aspects of life. It's like life's already hard enough. Life already sucks enough. Like, there's no reason to make it any harder for anybody else or bring anybody else down on your way up. Like, I never want to step on somebody to elevate myself any higher. I'd rather pull somebody up.
Yeah.
And that's why I love the idea of the promote yourself, because let's say my viewers come and watch your stuff, or my viewers come in, like, that's awesome. That's awesome to know that they care enough about me and they trust me enough to take my recommendations to go watch other people's content.
Yeah.
I think that's a good reflection of like the kind of people that I want in my community. Because I could just go post every day in my Discord. I could go just promote all my stuff on every platform, and I'll just get numbers. But I don't want numbers. I want people. I want people that I can message these people and be like, "Hey, how are you today?" Or like, if I don't stream for a couple days, it means the world to me that I have people in my Discord that'll reach out and be like, "Hey, you been okay? I haven't seen you for a while." You don't get that if you're taking more of a numbers based approach. Like, just to get that personality and it feel like there's actually a person behind the computer screen communicating with you is like super nice.
Yeah.
And obviously there's downsides to that too, but that's just kind of what I wanted to do with my community, what I wanted to do with my channel, is obviously not everyone's going to be your friend. Not everyone's going to be your online friend. Not everyone's who they say they are. But it's just cool to have people that I vibe with, that I could talk to at a drop's notice, go do something that we have something in common with. And I really enjoy that side of streaming.
Yeah.
And like building the community that we've built so far at the Angelo Baum thing. And another thing too that I need to work on, we're going to go on this little tangent here about me. Another thing I need to work on is like learning to appreciate what I have and like what I've done in such a short amount of time. It's like some people stream for years, months, years, and they never get partnered, or they stream to that one friend or their one family member. And I was extremely blessed, or just by chance, I guess, that I had a lot of good friends in life that showed up when I first started streaming. We were able to get partnered in our first week. Like, you have to stream for 7 days to be even eligible. We were eligible on that 7th day.
Mm-hmm.
So like, to have that average amount of viewers, to have that average amount of watch time, chats and all that stuff in 7 days, it really attests to just how supportive my friends, my family, the people that I've met online, the people that I've met in life, like, just are of me. And, you know, like, sometimes it's easy to take that for granted. Like a couple days ago when I was, you know, really bummed out about streaming before I had made my comeback, I guess I should say a couple weeks ago, like, you know, you're sitting there and you're like, do I really want to make this comeback? Do I really want to stream and stuff? But then it's like, in a short amount of time, we were able to build a Discord, a community. If you actually,
your Discord blew up pretty quick.
Yeah, if you pop in that Discord, people are talking about their lives and stuff.
I had to mute it because it was getting annoying.
People talk about their lives and their kids and things, and like also talk about video games. But it's just cool that these people feel comfortable enough to talk about those things in my Discord. That it's that much of a safe place, that people have a place where they feel like they can hang out, they can be themselves, and that's what it was all about from the beginning. That's what it continues to be about, and what it will always hopefully be about.
That's the one difficult thing about doing just strictly YouTube content, since my internet sucks. If my internet was better, I would stream like 3 or 4 nights a week.
I like your streams too, like your Dark Souls streams and stuff. They're freaking
Dude,
great
that one stream I did was like almost 8 hours Dark Souls, just nonstop. It was, I didn't really realize it until I was done. I was like, I'm really fucking tired.
Yeah, that game sucks you in for sure.
But doing YouTube, because everything's pre-recorded.
Yeah.
So like, you're releasing this content, and it's really, it's harder to engage with your audience because like you're not talking to them live. So like, unless people comment, you don't really get any feedback on your stuff. I guess no comments means that the feedback is negative. So, but anyway, so building a Discord, like my Discord's pretty dead, like most of the time. Like, we've got a few things here and there, but like, it's just, I feel like it's harder to build like a good community without that like interaction. Yeah. Like doing it live, you know?
Oh, absolutely. I think a lot of the people come into my Discord because like, if I see a new chatter pop up, or if I see somebody, you know, popping in for the first time, I really want to take the time to say hi to that person. You know, like, they're taking time out of their day to stop by or say hi to me. And it's just like, I try to really associate myself with everybody that stops in. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody wants to hang out. And I've had people pop in and be like, hey, you're a fat POS. And I'm like, I know, man, I'm working on it. So like, not ever, like, I don't want to make it sound like it's all rainbows and butterflies streaming sometimes, and that everyone that pops in is friendly.
I've had the nasty comments before.
See, I post my link after League of Legends games, so you guarantee the enemy team usually isn't coming in with a good mindset.
Well,
but
the issue there is that it's League of Legends.
Yes, it is a very toxic community. However, there are a lot of like, it's so random that the League of Legends community is as toxic as it is.
It just always has been. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why.
But there's a lot of cool people that play League too. It's just, I've
never met a cool person that played League. Sorry.
Well, I think
that's
the problem.
That's valid.
I think the problem with League is like, when you lock into a game, you're kind of committed to like a 35-minute process. Usually, let's say average 35 to 40-minute process. Yeah. Obviously, you have your 10-minute, 15-minute games and stuff, and you have your hour-long, hour-and-a-half games. Like, I've had some really long ones. But the thing with League that is so tough is if one person makes a mistake, it affects your whole team.
Especially if it's early game.
Like,
oh, and now the game's lost, and we're stuck here for 45 more minutes.
Just getting your ass kicked.
It's like,
it's pretty miserable.
You have 5 people that have to do 5 jobs, and if one of those 5 people doesn't do their job, it makes the other 4 people's jobs so much harder.
I'm flaming it.
It's like any job ever.
Correct. Literally. But now it's in a video game that you're trying to use to escape from your job.
Right.
So then why play it? It sounds like
it's the
have you ever done crack before? It's the equivalent.
No, I haven't.
I've just never found a competitive video game that I like as much as League. And it's funny that the game never gets stale because I've been playing the same
I know.
map for the same,
It's
10
so
years
dumb.
now. I've been playing on the same map, doing the same thing for 10 years, and it still feels as fresh every
there's
time.
so many champions and so much stuff that it's just you can never.
4 new people every time you or 10 new people because enemy team 2 or 9 people, I guess, not including yourself. It's
Even
like,
if you play the same champ every game, it's going to be a
it's gonna
wildly
be a
different experience
instant
every single time.
Every single time. You're going to have to build different items. You're going to have to accompany different teammates and deal with different enemies, different magic damage, ability damage. Like, you're going to have to deal with all these different factors that change every single time on the same exact map. It's so crazy that for 10
Well,
years...
you could be on the red side or blue side, so that
Oh, wow.
changes. But
Oh, how the camera flips.
yeah, basically.
No, I don't know. I've yet to find a game that is competitive that I enjoy as League. Because let's be honest, we're all getting older here. None of us are good at Call of Duty.
But okay, another
I used to be pretty damn good at Call of Duty.
now you're
another
old.
I stopped
another
playing
argument
all those
though
types of games, though.
is we're stuck on those older games. I find myself still enjoying older games
Like Left 4
more.
Dead.
Left 4
Well,
Dead's
yeah, Left 4
great.
Dead's amazing. More than I do any modern day games. Like the new Resident Evil 4 remake came out, and like all the reviews I've seen, everybody talks
It's
about it. They're like, dude,
so
this game's amazing. I've like no desire to play it.
Dude, okay, so like listen, like
Here we go.
the best thing about it to me is that it's fresh. The fuck was that? Sounded like somebody farted. Anyway,
Could have been me. No, I'm just kidding.
uh,
Something outside.
but the way they did it and the new stuff that they added made it really, really fresh. But I still got that like nostalgic feeling playing. it.
Yeah, I mean
Like,
that's totally
See, I have
valid.
a
It's
hot
so
take
good.
here.
Uh
I have a hot take.
oh.
You don't
Wee
like
woo, wee woo, hot take.
I talked to Michael about this a little bit. I'm having a problem getting out of my head going into the game and not comparing it to the old game. I'm having a huge
Well, of course
problem.
you're gonna
I
do
mean, like I compared it to the old game too, but like, cause I mean, if anybody knows me, Resident Evil is my favorite video game franchise of all time. Like I've got like all the games on GameCube. Like Michael, whenever he worked at GameStop, found me a Code Veronica, which is really
Ooh,
difficult to
there you go.
find.
Yeah, they are.
But Resident Evil 4 was like, I played the hell out of that game.
Well,
and
that's,
it was
that's
like,
the best one,
yeah.
arguably.
yeah, like I love the other ones, but like that one was newer to like, it was
Yeah.
a new style of gameplay for Resident Evil. And so like that one always stuck with me.
Well, that and it was the first one on PS2, right? Because Resident Evil 3 was PS1.
Mm-hmm.
So just the way you played it, the graphics, everything was better.
Yeah.
The
And-
story for Resident Evil 4 is actually really cool. And sorry to interrupt you here. So the lead
He's not sorry.
director, designer of Resident Evil 4, he went to Nintendo, he went to Microsoft, and he went to who owns PlayStation?
Sony.
He went to Sony. He went to all 3 big developers and basically said, "Why do you deserve my game?" And he asked all 3 of them what video games meant to them. And I can't remember what PlayStation and Xbox said, but Nintendo said that it was like an art form and that they appreciate it as an art form. So Resident Evil 4 was supposed to only be released, and originally was released on GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
Now, eventually,
Yeah.
financially, they had to make decisions to put it on the other platforms. Why wouldn't you? Obviously, the game blew up.
It didn't go on Xbox, did it?
I don't think
I don't
so.
think so.
It's just
No,
PlayStation
it went on
and
PlayStation,
GameCube.
but I
Yeah.
believe it didn't come out till way later on PlayStation compared to GameCube. Because originally it was only going to be a Nintendo game.
Right.
Was Resident Evil 4.
Right.
But back to my spicy take, I enjoy the game, but I find myself getting in situations that they've changed minute details of some of the old encounters and some of the old
Well, that was
things.
the point to keep
Yeah.
it fresh.
I know. And to me,
I don't like it.
to me, it's I need to play more of it. I just I just fought the we'll call it the lake monster and the troll afterwards.
Did you make sure when you went to fight the lake monster, you shot in the rip pond or whatever to get the
No.
infinite
See, that's-
ammo glitch?
No, I didn't do the infinite ammo glitch. I didn't feel like seeing the alternate screen.
So actually, Resident Evil 4, the original, obviously GameCube, PlayStation 2, it's on Windows. It came out on Wii. And
Yeah, I remember they did a Wii version.
They
Yeah.
ported it to PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
Yeah, I
So
remember
I
having
knew
it on
the 360,
So-
but not the original.
See,
X.
it
Not
came
the original.
out. It came out really late on
No.
360,
Yeah.
and when it came out, it was such a huge deal because I remember buying it on the arcade game store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it came out. Crap, the game came out itself in 2005. It didn't come to Xbox. Wait, that's Xbox One.
Yeah,
Xbox 360 till 2011.
Yeah, I remember it being.
I mean,
way
it
down
was
the
that
road.
good of a game. I mean, and
Six-
people
yeah,
were
oh,
still
yeah.
buying it.
Oh, I
Yep.
mean, heck, I bought it on Steam like 2 years ago.
I bought it on
Same.
Steam, yeah.
And
Yep.
but
Anyway,
to reel it back in.
yeah.
I do
Enough
actually
about somebody else's game. Let's talk about what we do.
Well, let me end it by saying the remake is very good. If you're a Resident Evil fan, you should buy it. Me being gripey is just me being gripey.
That's fair.
Great game. All right, back to what we were doing.
Yeah. I actually forget what we were talking about before that. But anyway.
You were talking about your favorite game series, Resident Evil 4, and
Yeah.
we were talking about. Yeah, you were kind of talking about your take
that's
on
right. I had to get you guys out of the league talk. That's what
this
it
is a
was.
Resident Evil podcast, right?
Oh yeah, which that'd be one thing that I'd be okay with doing.
that would be a cool podcast.
I'd have to really get back into all those old games and get through the lore.
We could call
and
it
stuff
like
again,
Video
but-
Game Mythos or something, or like
Yeah, that's a really good name actually.
something
Maybe
like that.
post game content.
Post game, and then we'll just talk
So-
about games after we beat
Yeah,
them. They're playing.
yeah, that'd
That'd
be
be cool.
That'd be really really good. That's just
That's a
buzzing in the
genius
microphone.
idea, a completely original genius
Yeah.
idea.
Yep, let's start it right now on 13 Palm Trees. If you see that there's already episodes out, that's because we've been pre-planning this.
So, as far as obviously you've talked about new stuff that you're doing, Alex.
Yes, sir.
Any big plans like for your first
Yeah.
we've talked about your streaming, but like
Yeah.
since you're now getting back into it and you're going to be jumping back
Mhm.
into it after your little break, like what days do you stream and like what types of games do you normally stream? Because I don't think
Yeah,
you sitting here talking about League, people are probably expecting to jump in and watch League.
yeah. So
He streams League sometimes.
I do
those,
stream League.
those are whenever I don't.
when I turn off. So the big thing with this comeback or Angelo_bomb 2.0, the big thing is I'm going to play the things that I want to play. Before I was so set on trying to build a community and trying to get people in and trying to meet new people that I was playing games that I had the most access to be able to communicate with people, which is obviously the post-game lobbies of League of Legends, post-game lobbies of Overwatch and stuff. You can meet cool people, pull them in. And it's nice to get that. It's nice to meet the people. But I think a big reason, like we were talking about earlier, and then you kind of touched on it a little bit, the big reason why I was facing burnout was I felt like I had to play certain games, stream at certain times and things to try to build that community aspect. And I think a lot of people, especially the people that were there from day one or like really know me, could tell I wasn't as happy streaming. And when it became to feel like a job, like we talked about earlier, I kind of really fell out with it. And that's why I took the whole break. So now that we're relaunching and like coming back, not that we ever not did it, it's just we took a little break. And now that we're coming
Let's
back,
talk about why you took a little break. First of all,
it was a break. But now that we're
An actual
I gotta
break.
tell the story. I gotta tell the story why
Do it.
you took the last week off before Resident
oh,
Evil.
that's because Alex broke my computer.
No, I did not break his
Did you-
computer.
Did you help him
Yeah.
rebuild his
No,
computer?
let's talk. Let's dive into it. So this ding dong over here. His friend's like, dude, buy this new Ryzen GPU or CPU, and he's like,
And it was a good
"Okay."
one. It was a good deal.
Yeah, it was a great one. If it was compatible,
It was compatible. We just had to do the BIOS update, and we didn't know that until you broke my old GPU, ripping it
yeah,
out
but
of my
you
computer.
didn't. You didn't
You
even
broke
look.
his GPU.
Here, let me explain. So first of
No,
all,
let me explain.
yeah, let me explain. So he buys was it 7 or 9?
Let's say it's the 7, but I don't remember which one because we returned
Anyway,
it so fast.
he got this. He had a 5, and he was upgrading to a 7 or 9. I forget which one.
Yeah.
But Ryzen runs insanely hot. That's their quirk. They
Yeah.
run really hot. He had a stock cooler on it.
Mind,
that thing-
now, mind you, he built my computer, so he put the stock cooler.
We budgeted out at his price point, and it was fine. It worked for the 5. The stock fan worked, but as you may know, as soon as you start going up into higher
Oh yeah, you need
CPUs, you got to get some sort of external, like a better
a liquid
cooler.
or something like
Correct.
that.
So he was going to put a stock cooler on a 7. That is not bueno.
So I've only
Not
ever
a
messed
good
with
idea.
Intel, so
Well,
We
yeah.
made the
So
swap
it's
to
the
Intel.
same.
it
Yeah, we made the
basically,
swap.
well, so
Yeah.
yeah. So what ended up happening? I went to pull the stock fan, the passive heat sink off of there. You know how when you put a CPU in, it has little it latches.
Yeah.
I literally went like this, and it just ripped. It was latched, and it just ripped. The pins just went.
They just
Toasted. Just
Jeez.
freaking toasted.
Then
So
when
you
we
needed a whole
realized,
new motherboard.
when we
Well, no, the
realized we
motherboard
needed,
was fine. The CPU.
the problem was we
toast.
needed to do a BIOS update, and I don't have the
Well, to
BIOS
make it-
flashback or whatever it was called.
Yeah, so you have to have BIOS flashback to be able just to plug a flash drive in and whatever. So I was like, oh, we'll put the old CPU in and we'll update. No, that old CPU is toasted.
Yes,
so
we could put it the
But
old
we
way.
didn't figure this out until after I'd put the new CPU in, more thermal paste, the cooler back on, all together, and hit the power button, and it was like the indicator was coming on, something wrong with the CPU. It's like, oh my god. So I'm sitting there forever. I was like, what happened? What's wrong? Not compatible. So we ended up scrapping the whole thing. He bought a new motherboard. We got him a new Intel i7, but it's has like a faster clock speed. I think it's for streaming. So overall, it ended up benefiting him, not
it
his
ended up
bank
being
account.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared to drop the large amount of money that we
Wait,
had
what
to
was
drop.
that, like $600?
For an i7?
No. So he got a new motherboard.
Liquid cooling system.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that was for everything.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just went ahead and upgraded
So I was
everything.
going to say, like, if you
Already
paid
there.
Well, I mean-
$700 for an i7, you're done.
We
No.
actually got a really good deal on because we had the $60 off coupon and it was on
right.
sale. So
Well,
we actually got
PC
a
Park
pretty good
Picker's OP when
Well,
doing
yeah, that's
stuff.
what I used
But
to
yeah, so we ended
present
up.
my
It
stuff.
ended up working out. He's got a way better build, and now he has
Yes.
a Kraken like water cooler on there, so that'll keep it just way cooler.
Yeah.
Yes, so I did
But
take
that was,
a week off because
That
of
was a pain.
It did, or maybe like a week and a half. It did suck, but for the longevity of the streaming process, it actually was a ginormous upgrade because before then I couldn't stream brand new titles.
Mhm.
I couldn't play the new Dead Space, couldn't play all these games I wanted to play, and now I have access to all these games that I want to play. Which goes back to what I was saying. This time around, I want to play the games that I want to play.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to play League. I like playing League, but I'm not going to be playing it 7 days a week like it was. Like I might play some League with you. And another thing with League too is I'm sure some of you guys know that do play League.
Like once you get your actual streaming schedule, do like, okay, this day of the week I'm going to do
That's the
like
game plan.
League, and then this day maybe viewer suggestion. You know, stuff like that.
So I really do want to create a schedule and lay it out. But so one of my biggest flaws as a person is I'm very manic. So one thing that really gets me is I'll create a stream and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to stream at 3 p.m. on Thursday and I'll post that a week in advance. Well, Thursday comes around and something pops up and I can't stream it Thursday. Maybe I had a stay over at work and I slept a little later, so I woke up because I work nights. Or maybe, my dogs, something happened to my dogs. It's just anything could have happened. I didn't stream at 3. If I don't start at 3 o'clock, I immediately manically start like getting depressed and stuff. I'm like, I feel like I let people down. It starts tearing me up. And then I just won't stream at all. Or I'll stream at like 8 o'clock. I'll just keep
All or
pushing it
none.
back because it really bugs me. So that's another thing that we're working on. So I'm actually, funny enough, calling an admin meeting today with all my moderators and admins. And we're going to try to create something that's healthy but works for everybody. Because, if I had a favorite content creator that I followed a lot, or like, obviously I do have some that I pop in on, but like if I was trying to really follow one, it'd be cool to see, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, he's playing a game I'm interested in. Thursday, Friday, he's playing something I'm not interested in.
Yeah.
So I might be more likely or more able to tune in on Monday, Tuesday. But I think when I create the schedule this time around, like when I can't stress enough this comeback process and coming back to it, very excited to come back to it. I'm going to do things in a more healthy manner.
Yeah.
I was streaming 7 days a week. I was working 8-10 hours, come home, stream 8-10 hours, and then barely
it's just
sleep.
not. Yeah, you have to have time to like take care of yourself.
Well, it was something brand new to me.
Not like this. I mean,
Yeah.
that too,
Whoa.
but
See, well, that doesn't take a lot of time. That's just 2 seconds in the afternoon.
That's fair.
But
2 seconds.
the problem was, and I'm sure you guys have felt this too, like I had got into something new and it had done well right off the beginning. And I just got like such a dopamine hit from seeing how quickly we grew. And like the things we were able to accomplish in such a short amount of time that I felt I just wanted to keep grinding to see how far we could take it. And I didn't care about myself at all. And my friends could see my mood was changed. My family could see my moods would change. My moderators and stuff were like, hey man, like you could, you seem stressed out. Like, and eventually it came to the point where I just burnt myself out, kind of crashed, kind of lashed out on some people that didn't deserve it because like I just was operating at such a high octane that I was getting frustrated that people couldn't keep up with me, that I needed to keep up with it, which isn't healthy. So in this coming back to streaming, I want to create a schedule that's realistic, that's healthy to me, and also allows me to have a little bit of freedom to where I can enjoy life, enjoy my girlfriend, enjoy spending time with my dogs, enjoy disc golf and things like that. So as of right now, and don't quote me on this because it's just a soft prediction. Right now, it's looking like Monday.
By the time this comes out, you'll probably have already hashed it out.
Yeah,
So.
but I'm thinking Monday is going to be a day off. I'm thinking Thursday is going to be a day off, and I'm thinking like weekends are kind of more optional. Is what, like if I have like a tournament or something going, I'd rather focus on it than streaming.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, with me maybe potentially on an off week taking 4 days off, that's why I want to get into the YouTube. That's why I want to get into like creating vlogs and stuff, because maybe somebody just genuinely wants to know what I'm up to or why I'm missing so many days. So like I record me playing disc golf or just having fun with some friends or something. But I don't want to become like some like vlogger or something, but I think it would be cool instead of, I hate making that sappy post, hey guys, sorry, I'm going to be taking a couple of days off. Or I think it'd be cooler to just upload a video of me like hanging out with some friends and like, hey, just taking some time away from the computer, and people could see that I'm
You have
doing
friends?
all right. And well, I like to pretend.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Cardboard cutouts at his house.
Well, I PayPal people.
Okay.
Like, yeah,
Oh, that's
I
fair.
just
Yeah, that's
slip them a
fair.
couple bucks and
That's the only reason we're here right now.
So
He paid us to do our podcast. That's how
Wow.
desperate he was for
That's
friends.
incredible.
That sounds pretty shady. Would you say that it's under the shade?
No one said that.
Ta-da. But so with this comeback, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to get into a schedule that I enjoy. I'm very excited that I'm going to be playing games that I want to play and enjoy. And I'm going to care more about myself. And I think that in creating more happy, more genuine, fun content, people are going to be able to sense that and want to be a part of that, because people can definitely sense when I'm being quiet or being angry and just rage playing League of Legends. So I want to just create a more genuine environment where I can be myself and just have fun with what I'm doing, because it's something I want to do, and I'm not doing it to become rich or famous. Obviously those things are cool. If it popped up, awesome. But
having a lot of money is pretty cool. I'd like to try that one day.
As of right now, I just stream because I enjoy doing it. And I've been incredibly blessed by Michael, you guys, like just everybody of 13 Palm Trees, to have people that are like, hey bud, like it's all right. Like if you need to take some time off, I get it. Like if you need to like just to have a more relaxed environment to like really grow in has been really nice. Because imagine you started streaming, you got sponsored by somebody, and they're like, we want this many stream hours, and we want this much content, and this and that. And that's just not what it is at all here. It's more like, we want you to be happy. And,
just put our logo on your stream. That's about it.
Yeah. And I've done that. Yeah. No one says anything about how much.
Michael yells at me all the time for not mentioning 13 Palm Trees in my stuff. And I'm like, I forget.
I'm really bad. I'm really bad at the Patreon.
It's in the description, but yeah.
The thing is like, I've never seen like the breakdown of what I should say. Like there's no script, and seeing is like, I'm like,
do we need to come up with some sort of script anyway? Let me pop on Chat GPT real quick.
Write me a script. I pop in on there and I'm like, hey guys, we have a cool Patreon. Go check it out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really bad at like I'm so bad at doing stuff like that I'd never even ask people to like or subscribe to the channel.
Oh my god, that's 101 YouTube. If you don't say like and subscribe and hit the little bell thingy, what's even the point?
No, I know. I never do that. And like, I catch myself after I've done done editing, and I'm like, man, I never didn't say that. I'm like, I could record it now, but it wouldn't fit. So I just don't.
Just do like a little infographic that comes. You don't have to say it.
On my video that's coming out tomorrow, I actually like put multiple times in the video. But I'm also, with my stuff, I'm doing a complete logo redesign because the logo that I'm using is really, really old, and it wasn't even supposed to be for YouTube. It was for something else.
Yeah.
But whenever I started YouTube, I didn't have a logo, so I decided to use it. So they're redesigning that, and once that's done, I'm going to get custom ones made with my logo on it. So, because like the ones that I use now, I just ripped off of YouTube. They're like free stuff with green screens, and the quality's not the best. So
that's free.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get some actual like high
there's
quality.
There's definitely like a lot you have to do when you get into streaming that like if you've never streamed before, you would never like really realize like how much time it comes into creating this thing. Like so I've been incredibly lucky to have Rebecca.
Having a graphics degree was just beneficial in general for doing Twitch, YouTube, basically any social media content, even just like exporting a video out of DaVinci Pro or Premiere or something. Yeah. It's just like, what's the resolution? What's this? What's Sure, you can YouTube it, Google and stuff, but a lot of it you just need to know. Like they're just good things to know.
So like for so before, what was it? The fall of this past year, I was using the free version of DaVinci, and you can't render it like the best quality with the free version. So we got the paid version for the studio, and I use it to do my YouTube videos. Well, I watched a video whenever I first got it, like on like the best render settings for YouTube. Well, those were fucking wrong.
Well, yeah, sure. Yeah.
And I watched a video the other day, a new one, and changed all my render settings, and holy shit.
Yeah.
Like the quality that's coming out now is so good. Like what I'm dealing with right now is I'm bottlenecked because I'm using i7, which I'm getting ready to upgrade. Yeah. I was going to upgrade, but then I bought a car. So now I've got to wait a little bit.
That's fair.
But
can't get to the studio without a car to edit the videos. So
priorities. But I've got it priced out. I'm going to get the i9 12900.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Like completely whole new build. And what I'm doing, instead of building and like upgrading my PC, I'm going to just build another one. This one that I'm going to build is going to be for the gameplay, and then the other one's going to be strictly for the recording. So I don't have all that stress on my system.
Sure.
Together, because that's what I'm dealing with right now. So like I can't play at max quality whenever I'm recording because
just pulling so much.
My computer just can't handle it right now.
Yeah.
Like the bottleneck between my GPU and CPU right now is ridiculous. I can't get full frames, even whenever I'm not recording. So, but also with that, and you talking about streaming made me think of it. I've been talking with a guy down the street here. He's got an apartment for rent. He's starting to fix it up. And the plan is, I actually just talked to him before you guys got here to move in sometime this summer. Once I moved in there, I'm going to start streaming full time, which means that we'll have to do some co-streams together.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
but we had so much good Phasmophobia content
Dude.
at the peak of it before, like, I had taken into like creating content.
that was where I met you, I think. I don't
That
think
was
I'd ever
so
met you
much
before
fun.
that. You were just like, I just knew you as the guy that we'd play the asylum and you would just go
Oh
hang out
my
in the
God.
conference room with
Hey,
whatever.
hey, don't you
whatever
worry
his
about
name
that
is.
conference room.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you guys were doing down there.
We're actually, the game
Lots of
plans to
holes,
stream
lots of
some
donuts.
Phasmophobia tonight. So you might
See, I tried
find me
playing
in
it.
the conference room.
It's so different
recently.
now.
It
It's
is.
I know,
crazy
like,
different.
It's hard. Once they did that big update and made it
Yeah.
harder, like I was like, I can't just get in here and play this for fun. Like,
Well, at the
Yeah.
point that update came out too, we had played it so much that it's hard to
yeah,
for me. Like today, I'm really busy, but I want to stream today, so I'm gonna do a late night stream. Anytime I do like some late night streams, I like to try to do spookier stuff. It's
Yeah.
just my whole
Spooky.
vibe is like I like Halloween, I like spooky, I like horror. Like that's my general genre of things. It's just I happen to also like League of Legends. It's like
Yeah.
this is all the great stuff I like. These are my red flags.
See, like I'm like the opposite. Like I hate watching horror movies. I think they suck. Not a fan of like horror TV shows, anything horror related. Like I just not really a big fan of like artwork, stuff like that. Like your stuff's good, but it's not like my favorite type of stuff. But
that's
like
fair.
games, that's my favorite type of game.
Well, there's a way different interaction with games than
Well,
versus
yeah,
like
I
art or
feel-
movie or like. It's hard for a movie to be scary because you're not necessarily in that
Yeah.
situation. Now, if you can empathize with the main character or whatever, like Skinamarink was a really great example of that, where it's more atmospheric and not necessarily so linear.
yeah.
It's more just you sympathize with the kids that were there, helpless kids, and it gives you things that you're familiar with.
Mhm.
Versus a video game, it's like you are this character, you've got 1 HP, you have 1 bullet.
Yeah.
Here's 1,600 creepy things that may or may not come get you and kill
Or
you.
like most of the games that I play, you don't have a weapon. Like so, you are literally
yeah.
like. You
Right,
hear
well, it
something
creates
walking
that
behind
internal
yeah.
anxiety. You're
Yeah.
like, I am anxious. Like,
Mhm.
if I'm playing a video game and I'm anxious while playing it, Ed has done a great job of me being like, I'm scared and I'm not even in a real place.
Yeah.
So,
There's two big like schools of thought here. There's like the two basic forms of horror, especially in video games. You have like the jump scare, the immediate scares, and then you have the dread horror.
right.
Like you know what's coming, you know you're going to have to deal with it. You're sitting there working on a dead body at a mortuary table and you look and you see that person in the shadows and the direction that you have to go and you
Right.
just dread that.
Right.
You're like, and I think as a video game, you really dread it because you're the person that
Oh, yeah,
actually is going
you're the
that way.
actor, right? You're
Yeah.
you're making that happen.
Yeah. For movies, I'm not saying I like all horror movies because obviously there's so many different types of horror movies.
Right.
I really like the ones that make you think or have the endings that make you feel yucky afterwards. You're like the worst case scenario type movies to where something happens and it happens in a way that you would never expect it or the ending that you didn't want. So you just feel so gross after the movie. Those are my favorite kind of horror movies.
Yeah.
Like I don't really care so much for like the jump scares, the scary stuff. Like it's okay.
Well, they're almost
think-
like cheap scares now,
Yeah.
right? Like it's novelty to have a jump
There's-
scare.
There's that in video games too. Like, cause I, mainly horror stuff and whenever, especially when I was doing 3 videos a week, bro, like I've played some shitty games. But like a really good horror game, like can set that atmosphere and regardless of like what setting you're in, whether it's like on a subway car or like if you're at an old farm, like your typical like horror style settings, but it's about like what kind of atmosphere are they setting, like what are you hearing? And a lot of games like overdo jump scares.
Oh, absolutely.
And
And
it's-
it really takes away from it.
Yeah, and it's awful, but there's a game company that I've found and I've played almost all of their games. They're called Emika Games, and they do it perfectly.
Yeah.
Now there's some stuff in their games that it's kind of like cheesy. Like there's a big
Oh,
clown
sure.
in one of the games, and I don't think clowns are scary, and I think it's cheesy. But man, like those games will just like I jump whenever I play those games. It's
Right.
crazy.
Well, I mean, a really great example, two really iconic horror games, Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill 3.
yeah.
Both phenomenal games. I love both of them. They were super fun to play through. Replay through multiple times to get all the extra stuff, right? Silent Hill 2 has way less enemies, way more atmospheric, way more you just walking through the fog kind of discovering. It was terrifying. You never know what was going to lurk around the next, turn. Silent Hill 3 was so chaotic. At first, when I first started, it was just jumbles of anxiety. Like, there's 6 enemies coming towards me. I have a bat, or I have a wood plank, I think, whatever.
Yeah.
Terrifying at first, but after midway through the game, an hour or 2 hours into the game, oh, okay, cue the scary music, cue the 7 dudes. I'm just going to kite them around and get to the next spot. It really lost its value fast. Now, don't get me wrong, great game, but the second one's still just way scarier.
Mm-hmm.
With the lack thereof of enemies. The unknown was way scarier than just, hey, here's 12 dudes coming at you, and here's the scary music, and it's like,
You know what
That's
the
weird.
scary? Oh, sorry to interrupt you, but you know what the scariest game is that I've played lately? And the reason why I bring this up is because you played it too. Alien Isolation. That
Dude,
game
I've
was-
heard that game's good.
Dude,
yeah.
the dread in
Yeah.
that game,
It
like
is
knowing,
so good.
dude, like it. I stopped playing the game because I was doing it like it's a full series on YouTube. I stopped playing it for like 5 months just because like
I got scared.
not that it was like I love being scared. It's hard to scare me like in real life. Like my ex fiance's dad always like tried all the time to scare me and just never could. So whenever something can actually like put that dread into me and
Right.
make me like actually scared and nervous, even though I know nothing's going to happen to me, is awesome.
Yeah, that
But
game.
dude,
that
that-
game.
So good.
Yes. I also remember as a kid watching Alex play Doom on Xbox.
Mhm.
That
Doom
game,
3.
that game used to scare me so much because I remember there were times that you had to, for whatever reason, the game designer was like, you have to pick between a gun and a flashlight.
Dude,
You're in
yeah,
a
that
dark
whole
room.
game was
Good
just.
luck.
Mhm.
I have a funny story about that game, actually. So I was, maybe 12?
Yeah.
I don't know, original Xbox Doom 3. Still have that collector's edition steel case. It's just a cool, it's not worth anything, but it's just super cool. I was up late one night at my grandparents' house down in the basement, and that's where I gamed at. Like it was awesome because it's pitch black. They had the nice big tube
Great
TV.
basement.
It was a great place to game, and it was cool. And just summertime, I'm off from school. Well, I had a cold, like a real bad cold. So my grandma had actually said, she's like, here's like some Vicks here. I'll set up like a humidifier or whatever. Well, in the game, there's these orange pentagrams that spawn, and then the enemy spawns up from them. Well, I remember one night I was laying in bed, and like, you know how you wake up and you're kind of groggy and everything's kind of
Mhm.
blurry. I had looked down, and I see this like smoke and this orange circle, and I'm like, oh my, like about died. And then I finally like came
Yeah.
to, the adrenaline kicked in, and it was the humidifier, and I was like, oh my god, I thought I was dead. It was just
That's
such
too
a
funny.
terrifying wake up experience.
That reminded me of like the first time that I ever played or saw Resident Evil. It was Resident Evil 2.
Dude, yeah, the fingernails on the case always freaked me
Yeah.
out.
Well, like I was over at my friend Alex's house, and we were in middle school. Had to be middle school. I mean, crap. That was on the was it the 64?
64 and
version?
PS1.
I think it was a 64 that he had.
Right.
But he had just got it, and he's like, I want to show you this game. So we just played games and stuff together all the time. And so went over to his house, and I was sitting on his bed, like Indian style, like with my legs crossed.
Yeah, right.
And like my back was like close to the edge of the bed. And whenever the dogs jumped through, it made me jump, and I fell off the fucking bed. And ever since then, I've been hooked on Resident Evil. Like ever since then.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
My so this will show my age a little bit. My first Resident Evil was Resident Evil 4.
Says the youngest guy here.
That's what I mean is that I'm younger than you guys. That's what I show that. Because I started on Resident Evil 4 was my first one.
Yeah.
And I remember, so when you're walking to, without like spoiling too much, I guess, well, the game's been out for so
Resident
long.
Evil 4's been out
Game's
forever,
been out
brother.
for almost 20 years.
So when you're making your way to the village, there's a scene where you have to walk across this like wobbly bridge.
Yeah.
And on the other side of the wobbly bridge, there's 3, I'm going to call them zombies. Obviously, they're not zombies, but there's 3 of them
Las
standing.
Plagas.
Las Plagas. There's 3 of them standing there, and they point at you, and they do that basic yell that makes it sound like it sound like they're saying makes like it sounds like they're saying butthole, but they're not actually saying butthole.
Yeah.
So they do that yell. I remember being a kid turning off my PlayStation. I was like, I'll never do that again. That was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, after like that was back to what I was getting ready to say earlier.
Yeah.
About like the setting the scene. Like that's where Resident Evil stopped being a horror game and started being an action game was
It's
Resident
true.
Evil 4 because
Yeah.
in the original like style of the fixed camera angles, like you don't know what's around that corner. You just got to go.
Yeah.
You know,
And
like
loud ass
and-
footsteps.
Yeah. So that's where it, I still loved Resident Evil 4, and then 5 was okay. 6 was trash.
It just became
Well,
even more action.
and
yeah.
then 7 just
Really revitalized the series.
So
See,
good,
I
yeah.
love Biohazard and I love Village, and a lot of people don't like those.
I think they're both good. I think 7 was better than 8. After replaying 8 so many times, like, it's kind of.
So the one thing I don't like about 8, and I get we're not a Resident Evil podcast, but we all just happen to like
We're
Resident
talking
Evil
about
games.
horror games. This is
But,
perfectly.
Yeah,
The one thing I liked
contextual.
about Village a lot was the dollhouse, right?
that was the best.
So-
that was so good.
Originally, when they made the game, they were going to make it all scary like the dollhouse. The whole game was meant to be scary. And then it came out that they said the general public won't like this. It'll be too scary. So then they switched to only having that one scary part. But that dollhouse will stick with me
That
forever
and the giant
in
like
gaming.
baby slug
Dude, the
thing.
baby thing is
oh my
terrifying.
gosh,
Yes.
dude.
Especially when it's like, "Dada."
Yeah,
Aw, hold on, let me crawl under the bed and be feeble real quick.
I have not played the DLC for Village. I
haven't yet either.
plan on doing that for stream.
Mhm.
But there was a unfortunate part that got spoiled to me through YouTube Shorts, but I only saw it for like a couple seconds, so I was able to get off of it before like I saw anything. But I happened to see a scene that may or may not revisit that baby and other scary stuff. And every time you look away from those scary things, they get
oh yeah,
closer.
they get closer. I saw that.
And I
and-
hate that. I hate
Like
it.
the weeping angels.
Yeah, I had just seen, like, I had only seen like
Mm.
a couple seconds of it. I turned it off because I do plan on playing the DLC. I just hadn't got around to it yet.
Yeah.
But I do plan on doing it. But that's what my gripe is about this new Resident Evil 4 is that, like, Resident Evil 4 already felt like an action game, but it had some scary aspects. This new remake just feels 100% action. Like, I'm parrying flying objects,
It's-
I'm parrying chainsaws with my knife. Like,
yeah,
like-
they definitely
it's cool. It's cool. It's fun. But I'm not scared at all when I'm playing it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't experienced like a Resident like
Yeah.
jump scare since I replayed 1 like a year,
Yeah.
2 years ago.
But the first
Crap,
time
it's
you
been a long
played
time.
4
Yeah.
and somebody came rolling in with a chainsaw, you were just like, holy
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
crap. Now when a chainsaw guy comes around in the new game, I'm like, I can just parry his chainsaw swings.
Mhm.
I'm not scared of the chainsaw
Not until you
guy
play
at all.
on get through it
On
and play
professional,
on
where
professional.
he just
I'm going
speed
to.
runs at you.
Dude, like you have to do
There is-
perfect. You have to do perfect parries in professional.
Right.
Michael and I are playing through it
Yeah.
on stream, and dude, it's
Are you
so
doing New
difficult.
Game Plus or just fresh?
No, fresh.
Fresh.
Fresh
That's what my
professional,
game
and
plan
it's
is after I
like-
beat it as well.
My playthrough, I'm playing it on New Game Plus on professional, and it's just too freaking easy because you've
Yeah.
got all the weapons and they're upgraded and stuff. But playing it fresh, bro, I literally we were passing off the controller. We played on Saturday. We were passing off the controller whenever we died, and the first enemy you encounter killed me. Like I just couldn't.
Huh.
Plus, I don't
Get
play.
good.
I don't play on controller either.
Yeah.
So like I,
Oh, I mean,
That is
yeah,
a
that's
whole
fair.
nother-
There,
that's
it's
a
a
whole
different
nother
skill
aspect.
set
So-
for sure.
but
I'll tell you what game I've been playing through recently. So me, Casey, and Ryan, we try to replay old games. That's how I actually played through Silent Hill 1 through 4.
Mhm.
I never probably would have picked
Yeah.
them on my own, but we kind of rotate through and play through them, so it's fun. Our next venture, and I don't know how I feel about it, is The Thing for PS2.
I don't think I ever played that.
I didn't play
Well,
it.
it's a very obscure game. But what's really cool about it, if you've ever watched the original, John Carpenter's The Thing,
Yeah.
this video game is canon and picks up right after that movie.
That's pretty cool.
And it actually has additional lore and I think some of the voice actors are like, it has a lot of the stuff. Well, so we're playing it and it handles like two wet noodles slapping each other. It is the worst controls I have ever done.
Yeah.
And GoldenEye is horrible, right? For aiming. This game is
Yeah.
worse somehow on PS2.
Dude.
Now, having said that, the actual gameplay of it's really cool. Now it's PS2 era graphics, so it's
Yeah.
like Lara Croft blocks,
Yeah.
essentially. But just the extra story, and there's a bunch of cutscenes. It is nice. It is a fun game, and I'm hoping I can trudge through the horrible
The control.
wonkiness of
wonky,
it to
yeah.
get to it. But it got me the other day with a jump scare because obviously it has a lot of things that happen. So you have a comrade and a team you control, like you're the main leader, and you're like, hey, go get that gun, or hey, go do this, it's like a squad game,
Mhm.
which is cool. Well, if your squad happens to basically get touched by,
Excuse me.
I forget what they're called, but the Thing, essentially, they can turn into that and you not know. you can look at their like indicators and like there's you have a limited amount of tests you can run to see if they are. But you could just be in the middle of a firefight against other ones. All of a sudden, it just spawns and turns into it and then starts attacking you. So, and it does it at random. It's all generated randomly. So each playthrough is technically different.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool stuff happening there. So I really hope I can get past the
wonkiness of it.
Yeah.
I recently started playing Cult of the Lamb. I'm a little late to the group of it.
Still a good game.
It is really cool. So I don't know how much you guys have seen or
Eat poop.
researched the Twitch integration of it.
No,
So
I saw you mention it yesterday on your stream, but I had no clue what you're talking about.
Fully into it, and it is so cool. So, basically, in this game, Cult of the Lamb, highly recommend it. There's a statue that you build for your followers to devote to.
Right.
So now with the Twitch integration, because my Twitch is synced and all that stuff, Twitch people in Twitch chat can use channel points to devote to my thing, and it has a separate bar for Twitch. So you spend 500 channel points and it does a devotion to my little totem. When you fill it up, Twitch chat then gets to decide my fate. And there's two different fates. So there's one when I'm out in the combat scene. There's one when I'm at the homestead. So basically the essential of the game is you go out, do the roguelike, collect materials. You can come back and build your base. So let's say it strikes when you're at your base. Twitch chat can vote to make all of your followers sick and they vomit and just poop everywhere. They can vote to break all of your beds and you have to go repair them. They can vote to clean your whole base, give you money.
So they could be like nice or
you're getting absolutely negative outcomes every time.
Yeah. So yesterday I'm in a battle, right? I'm out here fighting and they fill up the totem,
right?
And it says Twitch chat's choosing your fate. It comes up on my screen. I'm like, oh God. And they pick bombs and it just spawns 1,000 bombs on the ground that hurt me while I'm trying to fight this roguelike game.
That's awesome.
So the other side of that, that's already really cool. Now, when I get a new follower in the game, like a little disciple, at the top it says raffle for Twitch. And I click that and everyone in my Twitch chat can enter the raffle. It's free.
Right.
And then it'll pick one of those people. Those people then get to create their own follower on their screen and it comes into my game and it has their Twitch handle above that follower.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. That's
so
really
I have
good idea.
I don't know, I have all these different little followers that are the Twitch people, but it's fun because you get to sacrifice your followers if you have to. You have to put some of them in prison if they're bad.
Right.
So it adds such a more personality trait to it when I have to go sacrifice my buddy Garm, who's one of my followers or something, because he's preaching a different faith or something. So
it's such a good way to
it's so cool.
Get your chat to interact.
I've never seen something like that, but it's such a cool way to see the integration into that game. I've never seen something like that. So I just started it so I held a poll in my Discord. I was like, hey, what games do you guys want to see? These are some of the ones I picked up on Steam sale. These are some ones I'm interested. And everyone voted. And Cult of the Lamb had a giant, I think I got we'll say 7, 8, 9 votes on the poll. I think 7 of them were Cult of the Lamb.
No, there you go.
So I was like, yeah, I'll try it. I picked it up on a Steam sale. It was $12 or something. It's I'll give it a shot. And it is freaking so much fun, especially with the Twitch integration.
Oh yeah.
It is so fun. And people love being a part of it because just being able to design your follower, seeing your name on the screen, walking around, pooping and whatever else. But I really enjoy that game. And it's one I've been playing a lot. To speak a little bit more about my game plan so I'm doing the Resident Evil 4 remake. And then I eventually will do it on hardcore, not New Game Plus.
Do it on professional.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And then I want to
buy your raffle ticket off Steam. That way it's easy.
I bought Dead Space and I've never played Dead Space.
You've never played Dead Space before?
You didn't play the OG one?
Dude,
nope.
Just curb stomp everything. That's the only thing you need to know.
One of my favorite games of all time.
So as a kid, I didn't like to ask mom for a lot of new games, my mom. So
he would borrow mine, and then his friend would drop kick his Xbox and then ruin my game disc.
But I had the Dead Space demo, and I remember playing that demo a billion times because I thought it was such a cool game. But I only had the demo, and I never really for mom to buy us a game. It was something that we had to really build up. So
it was usually Christmas or birthday. That was it.
See, yeah,
which I mean is fair.
It was for us, there was 5 of us kids, so we were lucky to get one game at Christmas time for all 5 of us.
Correct.
So
and our mom was grinding, so it's not like she did not get us games for that. It's just for me to ask for a game, it was something that I wanted to play more than once.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't know if I ever wanted to play Dead Space. I, at the time, wasn't part of the big following for it. I just remember seeing it all over Game Informer,
Well,
like all that
Xbox
stuff.
Live was super relevant and like
Yes.
online play. So it's like you want to play Halo, Call of Duty, Gears of War, even Mortal Kombat. You want to be playing online games because that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited for my first playthrough of Dead Space. I'm going into
So are
it.
you gonna go and like play the original, or are you gonna do the remake first?
I bought the remake. I
You bought
didn't do the
remake?
original.
Yeah.
The original's like a
It's-
nickel.
Really good.
So
The-
okay.
I think because whenever I originally played it on PC,
Yeah.
the controls were ass. They did not control well.
Well,
It
I
was-
thought it's fine on like Xbox and PlayStation. I
Yeah,
think it was
yeah, yeah,
optimized
yeah.
for those, and then like late game, they're
They-
like PC.
Yeah, they ported it over, but
Right.
they didn't like fix anything. So
no,
like
why would
I think Michael said that they fixed it though.
Oh, and the new
Before-
one, I hope so.
No, not
No,
the
the
new
old
one.
one.
The
Oh,
old
okay.
port. I think they actually fixed it before the release.
See,
of
the reviews I
remake.
was reading with the old port is that it didn't run very well. And
Yeah.
some people had to actually download third-party programs to even be able to run it.
Mhm.
And
There's
like,
a lot of games like that on Steam, and that tilts me to no
I'm
end.
so bad at computers that as soon as I see
He's
third-party
lazy.
program,
I
I'm
think
like,
lazy
Oh,
is
yeah.
the
I'm out.
correct term.
but I think with not knowing any spoilers or anything about Dead Space other than just the concept of it, I think coming in and playing the remake first, I think it's still going to be a very enjoyable experience.
Well,
for me.
yeah, it absolutely will.
There's one thing I'm going to tell you to do whenever you
Yeah.
play this. Each chapter, I want you to get yourself a notepad.
Okay.
The first letter of each chapter, I want you to write down.
Okay.
'Cause
So
there's a
I've
secret,
only played the tutorial so far,
Okay.
so I don't know
There's
if
a-
I've missed the first chapter.
there's a secret message hidden in it,
Okay,
So,
I'll have to pay attention.
which was I thought was the coolest thing back in the day. So
I didn't know that.
that is cool. That
I'll,
is cool.
I'll tell you about it.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
Thanks.
For
Yeah,
me.
I'm not going to.
That way I can actually look into
it doesn't just spoil the message, or not the message. It doesn't. Yeah, but it doesn't spoil like what the message says. It actually spoils like
something in the game.
the. Yeah,
That's cool.
So
That's cool.
so I just thought that was a really cool like thing that they added into it.
Yeah. So I have Dead Space coming up, probably more Call of the Lamb. And then the last game that I had bought, and I'm excited to actually play now that I have a computer, is some Hogwarts Legacy. I'm not like a die-hard Harry Potter person, but I think it's a pretty cool game.
Yeah.
Like the small amount of time I've played it, it probably, and this is a little bit outrageous, it probably has the most fun combat system I've ever played in a game.
Swish and flick.
Imagine like old Devil May Cry button mashing, but with really intricate combos with magic spells. And you get to design what spells you want to take and like create your own like how you want to play the game. So it's like Devil May Cry, but you get to pick every one of your weapons in your arsenal. So it's pretty fun if you like those kind of games, like the button mashing games. And
I'm just not a Harry Potter fan.
So what if they made
It's
one that
alright.
was Lord of the Rings, but it was Harry Potter? Like it was.
Michael and I were talking about that the other day.
I know that's why I'm
Like,
breaking it up.
fuck.
He was so like they can't even do it. They can't. It's so
Like,
flushed out.
if
Lord of the Rings is
they-
so flushed out. They can't make a game that good.
Dude, if they made a game like
Sorry, Michael. I
Hogwarts
love you.
Legacy that was Lord of the Rings, I'm on
Yeah.
it. Speaking of Lord of the Rings, there's a Gollum game coming out.
I did see that. It
Either
looks cool.
is it this month or no? I think it's like
It's coming up soon.
I have not seen a single
May
thing about it. I heard
25th.
about it. I haven't
Yeah.
seen a single thing.
I saw it on where did I see it? It was like random, like popped up on
Yeah.
maybe Facebook or something. And so I put it in my wish list because
See, I'm a sucker of watching like video games coming out this year, like
Mhm.
YouTube videos like
I
that.
don't watch it.
Oh, yeah.
And when I was watching the Gollum one, it looks cool. The
Yeah.
problem for me is I like Lord of the Rings, but it doesn't hit with me the same as it does other people because I didn't really get into it.
Yeah.
So like, I need to try to get. I tried to read the books. I don't know if you've read the books.
Do the audiobook with those.
See, I tried the audio. So, and a lot of people hate this, but I don't read books. I listen to audiobooks mostly because I just do it while it's work. It's convenient.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I
And
think it's
have
pretty
a hard-
modern.
I
thing.
have a hard time focusing on pages. I have tried to listen to the Harry Potter books, or not Harry Potter, sorry, Lord of the Rings. I've made it through the first one. The second one, it's just the books are so hard to listen to in audible books because they're like, all right, now they're going to bed and they're falling into a deep slumber. Now they're eating and their bellies are so full. They talk about the details of how good the food is, how
It
good
is
their
very
sleep
detail
is.
oriented.
And,
Yes.
That's
and I'm
what makes
sitting
them
there
so
at work.
good.
I'm sitting there at work.
I don't want
tired.
the details. Give me the too long
Yeah.
didn't read.
Well, no, it's great that it's
Watch
like
the
that.
movies then.
I'm just sitting
I
at
don't want
work.
to watch the movies. They're too long.
I'm sitting at work and I'm hungry and I'm tired and I'm just sitting there drooling on myself and falling asleep because I'm hearing.
What
all
do you
these
mean? Why didn't the
freaking
Eagles
great
just fly 'em
details.
all the way?
So I haven't got into it yet.
Listen,
There was a Lord of the Rings game I used to play a ton on Xbox 360 though. It kind of played like Dynasty Warriors, but it was Lord of the Rings based. I can't remember what
I
it
remember
was.
that one.
and I played the heck out of it back in the day. It was
There's been some good Lord of the Rings game. They even had an RTS one that it wasn't that good, but I liked it.
The new ones that everyone like
Shadow Mordor and everything?
stuff like that.
Yeah, there's 2 of them, right?
There are.
There was a second
I played
one.
the first
I
one.
forget
and
what the
loved
other
it.
one's called.
They were so cool because like it played like Assassin's Creed basically, but you'd go into these, you'd have to like kill off the orcs and like their leader, but if you died to them, they become more powerful. So like you have to. So my playthrough, I kept dying to the same one. He just became too powerful to beat. So that was fun.
So I just quit. I gave up.
I
on Dark
originally
Souls, an easy
wasn't I wasn't the biggest Harry Potter fan. In fact, I've only read the books. I've never watched the movies. Like I've seen like a movie here or there.
I think that makes you a true Harry Potter fan.
Well, no, so the reason why I got into it was like we talked earlier about building atmospheres and stuff like that. When we had gone to Universal and actually saw Harry Potter World, saw it as a functioning thing in real life, the employees enjoying what they're doing, the rides that we rode and everything. It did such a good job of putting me into a different world that I was like, I want to learn more about this world. So then I had started the books. The books were really good. So then I was like, well, I like the books. I like seeing this atmosphere in real life. Why not try the game? So then I tried the game. It builds onto the atmosphere.
Right.
It's a different timeline, so it's not like you're getting hit by the same redone content.
Right.
And the combat system's a lot of fun. So I've enjoyed it.
There have been like 40 some.
There has been a lot, yes, from PS2 onward. I think maybe, I don't know if there might even been a PS1 game in there somewhere.
There's a GameCube one.
50.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so like back in the day, I think it was GameCube, the Hobbit game was awesome.
Never played it.
Those were my favorite book. That was my favorite book out of all the books was The Hobbit.
Why is it 3 movies?
Yeah, I don't know
because there's so much into it.
Money.
See, here's the thing is that they decided to do 3 movies so they could hash out the story and they still fucked it up. The movies were ass. So
I only watched the first 2 movies and I thought they were so boring. I didn't watch the third, even with like knowing what's happening.
I mean, they have cool stuff in them and like I liked watching them.
They relied way too much on CGI and stuff. Like the originals were so good, and I understand
and they
that
still hold up today.
They do, and The Hobbit, like everything was on sound stages and stuff. Like they changed characters. They introduced characters that weren't in the book, like the female elf. Like she was not a part of that. Like she's in the lore, but she's not.
Right.
Humping a freaking dwarf.
If you want to talk about humping a dwarf and all that stuff, man, I watched Game of Thrones, and you want to talk about a sad ending. Well, so I had actually watched the whole series just recently too, so I didn't get the hype of each episode coming out every week, and I managed to stay spoiler free through all these years. It's
because after it ended, nobody wanted to talk about it.
It's true.
So
our free folk was just dead.
So I watch it, right, and I watch it all the way to the end, and I'm telling people, I was like, man, that ending's not that bad. Like it's okay. It's not great, but again, understand that I'm watching it many years later. I'm binge watching it, so I don't have this like it's a big part of like my weekly regimen and stuff. But then I'm starting to listen. Like I got on YouTube and I'm listening to these people break it down about how they're rushing plot lines, how like people's morals completely changed, and then they use one line, and this is the whole reason why I bring this up is because it was so funny. So one of my favorite scenes, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together because again I binge watched it, and it was good for what it was, but where Jaime Lannister and Brienne are in that like hot tub, like warm water, and he's like. He's confessing that being a knight isn't all black and white, and sometimes you have to do things that aren't morally correct for innocent people, and why he killed the Mad King and all this stuff. Like, it's just really great character development. You're like, you start to like this whole guy that you thought was just a cocky jerk the whole time,
right?
But
he's finally coming around.
In that moment, you're like, okay, this guy's like a person. And then in the last season, he has that scene with was it his name Tyrion, and he goes, "I never cared about the innocent people, anyways," and it's like. Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah,
they literally just ruined the whole thing,
right? I
mean, ruined the whole character arc, character development.
Well,
the whole reason why
they ruined Daenerys.
Guy.
They ruined Jon Snow. They ruined everybody. Everybody got ruined.
I didn't hate the Daenerys thing, like the whole Mad Queen thing. It was okay.
Yeah, but she went mad like a season.
Yeah.
Bro, start that 3 or 4 seasons back at like little indicators.
Or how many times were they going to get ambushed by the ships in the water before they realized, hey, maybe we shouldn't fly over the ships in the water?
Or no, even like that one big scene, the one where the Night King dies, and they all right, all of Dothraki, they are just disposable. Send them all out to die in 2 seconds.
Well, that was another
beast race.
Yeah,
we could end this conversation very soon.
Let's do.
But the last thing I'll say is, the I really hated they took all this time to build up the Unsullied, the Dothraki, all these different people, and they did so much development with the people, the cultures, what they do, and you're like, oh, this is so sick. And then they just became a big amalgamation in Daenerys' army, and you never heard another thing about them.
Yep.
Mm.
They're just like, all right, everyone charge into the undead.
Yeah, that made no sense.
Mhm.
No sense.
But we don't have to go on that whole
Anyway,
tangent.
yeah, please
that was
God,
just-
literally anything else.
The Lord of the Rings took me to there.
No, you're good. I think that's probably good. I can't tell on this how long we've been recording, but I think we're close to like maybe an hour and 45 minutes now.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
it's easy to just sit here and ramble about
Oh,
things.
yeah.
If you feel
Yeah.
comfortable.
I just don't want to make it too long for everybody watching.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
hey,
So-
that's fine. If you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe.
Yes.
Bring that, smash that
Check the
fucking bell,
Patreon.
dog.
We
And
do release some exclusive stuff on there.
Yeah, before we go, you guys drop all of your socials so people can find you.
Oh, my social security number is
Hey, also, I have a question for everybody while I'm here.
Okay,
I'm here, I
sure.
like to do a little thing about it in the podcast.
oh god, here we
So
go.
I want to hear, Alex, and don't go in detail, top 3 video games of all time for you. Right on the spot. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. So I'm just gonna say this as wholes of series
Hurry
because
up.
I could. Okay, Halo, the Halo series, Chris,
Pick
top
one.
tier.
Pick one.
My favorite's Halo 3,
Number 2 game.
Mortal Kombat series,
Pick one.
easy. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 is the best one by all means.
And then number 3.
That's a hard one. See, I love League, but I'm not gonna throw it in there. I'm gonna say Ocarina of Time.
Daniel, top 3 favorite video games.
I mean, the Resident Evil franchise, probably Resident Evil 2.
Okay.
Probably my favorite.
Remake or original?
Original.
It just,
I didn't like 3.
it's okay. Anyway,
I mean, number 2 is Dead Space. We've kind of covered both of those
Okay.
already.
fair enough.
That's cool. I'm excited to play that then.
Oh geez, I don't know. Number 3, what's the game that I mean,
It's hard. There's
It's
so
very
many good
difficult,
game
yeah.
series, you know.
I mean, like the BioShock series is really good. I
It
didn't
was.
finish. I
The
didn't.
last one kind of meh.
Yeah, I didn't finish the.
After
What, Infinite?
after Andrew Ryan died, I stopped caring.
Yeah.
The first one is just top
Yeah,
tier.
probably BioShock. Like it's. I mean, those types of games just.
Yeah.
There's just nothing like them. So
I think for me, number 1 is Left 4 Dead.
wait, like the very first
Yes.
one, like not
Dude, the first one is
correct.
still my favorite.
The first Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
On Xbox 360, I put more hours into that game than anything else. I've
Yeah.
made so many friends on that game. So cool. Number 2 is probably Resident Evil 4, the original, which is why I'm so jaded on the remake, even though the remake is phenomenal. I just am at a hard spot where I compare 'em.
You'll really
Get out
like
your
it.
pitchforks.
I need to stick with it and just quit looking at it as it's the same game and appreciate it for it being something new.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Ocarina of Time, which I know is kind of a rundown answer. All right, so for our outro here to talk about our socials,
Yep.
you want to start us off? We'll just work our way to the side of the table.
Yeah, check me out. Instagram, YouTube, if you would like. Collects Bennett for everything. I've got a pretty synonymous economy going on, so be sure to get on there and check it out. Or you can check out 13 Palm Trees. I'm also listed there. And I actually got some merch up. Ooh.
So what are some of the things you do on your YouTube?
We just talked about
We
this.
talked
But I'm
about that
saying,
at the
like,
beginning.
For your little outro here, what are some things that you can come check
I
out?
wish I had my outro for my Mortal Kombat videos. But like, we do photography, streaming,
right.
everything but the kitchen sink.
Everything but the kitchen sink.
Make sure to like and
and
subscribe.
chopping.
with Michael's
decorating.
Michael's
Chopping.
cosplay of
I love
Harley
that.
Quinn in
I
there.
absolutely love that. Yeah, I do YouTube, photography. I like doing horror stuff, products, shoots, a bunch of different little things. So be sure to check it out. Get on there and have a look and watch episode 2 if you want to know more about me.
And big thing coming out this summer for him. Stay tuned.
Yep. Stay tuned for
All
that.
right, Daniel, what about you? We got gold.
youtube.com/@party_b, or I think you could still use youtube.com/thepartyblarder because it's still
Yeah.
the same.
Or
'cause you
just
can't
watch
change
my
that.
videos and he's tagged in every single one, basically.
Do gameplay videos. Instagram and Twitter is partyb_YouTube because the people who own the Party B handles will not message me back. I've offered to pay them for those handles. and they
Rest
did
in
not message
peace.
me back. And then obviously 13palmtrees.com, 13palmtrees.myshopify.com. That's where you can get all of the merch for everybody.
Yep.
And patreon.com/13palmtrees. If you want to support the company as a whole. And yeah, you get stickers. Sticker of the Month Club.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
So the reason I want to do the outro is in case any of my people come from my Discord and want to watch and don't really know anything about you
Yeah.
guys, so I wanted to do a little bit more of a breakdown there. So first off, appreciate you guys having me on the podcast. It was fun. From talking to Michael and you guys, I think I'm going to try to get a little bit more involved in a lot more things. So I'm excited to be more of a face around 13 Palm Trees, trying to do more content, trying to do, pop in podcasts when a guest is needed or something like that, try to show my face a little bit more. So you can find me on Twitch at Angelo_Baum. We're working on creating some YouTube stuff. I am actually genuinely going to do it. I planned on doing it before. Before the computer blew up and we had to drop a bunch of mics. I'm going to obviously
it didn't blow up.
Well, before Alex broke my computer.
I'd do it again.
Because obviously we're going to pay Daniel for his time, so we need to
Obviously.
work that out too.
Obviously.
So
I used to do all the work for free, but I'm fucking over that shit.
Yeah,
Which is-
he
which is
knows
fair.
his worth.
which
I
is
do.
fair.
Yeah.
So look for me on Twitch at Angelo_Baum. Big part of that Patreon, man. Like there's the tiers start at $1.
Yep.
I mean, there's literally a tier for anybody depending
No
on how
amount
much you
too
want to
little.
support. And it means a lot to not only me but this company as we're trying to start and get off the ground, and we're trying to create something here.
Well,
for all of
the
us.
biggest thing with the Patreon, and I'll say this, it's not going directly into our pockets.
No.
It
Correct.
helps with studio fees. It helps
Correct.
with software licensing. We actually want another light. We've been doing a couple small things around other businesses, trying to get that up and going. So overall, we want more cameras, more quality, and that's exactly what that money is going to.
So, like I said, with tiers starting at $1, you could truly find something that matches you. Also, my sticker just got submitted to the Sticker of the Month Club, so you can get an Angelo_Baum sticker.
And there will be some new Party B stickers with the new
Yeah.
logo.
New.
I've still got a crap load of the old logo, so we'll be sending those out as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've been sent out yet, but
yeah, I think that's all we got here, guys. I appreciate it. If you want to reach out to me personally, I love meeting new people. I'm Angelo Baum on Instagram and I believe on Twitter as well. And and if you want to get part of the Discord, part of the community that we're trying to build, I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, we can't stress enough how much the Patreon means to us and trying to help us get off the ground. I'm really excited to be working more with 13 Palm Trees and very lucky to have them. A couple quick shout outs for
Yeah, you
you.
are.
I also want to shout out my other sponsor, Marathon Man Discs. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Sorry.
Marathon
not.
Man Discs
You're right.
for getting me
I really have to
into
pee.
the competitive side of disc golf, and it's just really cool. So shout out to Marathon Man Discs. If you're trying to get into disc golf, check them out for new discs. Shout out to my buddy Mitch there.
Is that
And-
the one logo that was on your stream
Yeah.
yesterday? Okay.
Yeah.
I was
So-
wondering what that was. Yeah.
Yeah, so they got me into competitive side of the tournaments and stuff, and took it more from like just a hobby to like having fun with it, competing and stuff. So if you guys are looking for somewhere to get discs and stuff, please check out their website, Marathon Man Discs. And lastly, I want to shout out to my Twitch admins and moderators and on Discord and stuff. I couldn't do what I did without you guys. So thank you, Demon. Thank you, Rebecca, my beautiful girlfriend. I love you. I appreciate everything you do for me.
That's right. And we forgot to mention that Jabecki
Yes.
that was on last episode is his
I
significant
somehow,
other.
Dun,
I somehow
dun.
conned her into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out.
We're all still confused about it.
Money.
I don't have any of that, so I hope that's not why she's there. But
And
yeah,
that's why I haven't done his YouTube yet.
money. But shout out to Scythe, shout out to Rebecca, Demon, and Dran Wolf. You guys taking time out of your days and your lives to help me be able to do what I do. It means a lot to me. So thank you guys. Thank you to everyone involved. And anything else you guys want to say?
Yeah. Just thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more. Also, if you do join the Patreon, there are the different tiers. $10 it starts Sticker of the Month Club. Those are the that's how much that one is. And you've got like a merch tier, stuff like that. Some of them actually offer early access to this podcast. So if you enjoy this is only in video form on YouTube. So subscribe to that YouTube so you can stay up to date. We're trying to release these once a month and just keep a rotating cast of people coming on here, kind of giving you updates about what we're doing personally and with the content that we're doing and as a company itself. So all of the links to all of 13 Palm Tree stuff will be down below, as well as check out all the podcasts that we have. We got D&D Kinda, post-game content, Video Game Mythos, Super Nintendo Bros, Final Girl podcast shit. I feel like I'm missing something.
I also want to add, if you are, I think you guys only do local, right? But if you guys want to try to get into starting your own podcast, the first session is free. Just message 13 Palm Trees. That's only local though, right?
Well, I mean, if they want to drive here,
Yeah, if you want to drive here,
if you live,
but I'm saying,
not local.
do you guys do like recordings from the internet for that as well?
no.
well, I mean,
Okay.
we have
No,
the
we don't
equipment,
even-
the lighting.
We don't even like
do.
doing like the first episode. We made an exception because Ryan couldn't make it, but we don't even want to do like we want to have everybody here
Yeah.
in person. Like,
So if
It's
you're
just-
local or could make it to the studio, 13 Palm Trees will allow you to have your first session of your podcast for free.
Yeah, come on down,
So if
try it
that's
out.
something you're interested in,
Mm-hmm.
message 13 Palm Trees and try to get it set up. We're looking for more podcasts, more content. So if that's something you're interested, please check it out.
yeah, the only person that we allow to do remote podcasting is my brother Nathan. He's on Wasted Local Fantasy Football every year, and he lives in Germany. So
That is true.
That
He
is fair.
can't drive here.
He can't drive here. So, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Or we probably won't. Somebody else will. Bye-bye.
Maybe.
Bye.
Yeah, man, camping down with Dave, man, do. Yeah, Dave, what that friend gon' do? Bought a 6-pack for 3 days. Crazy motherfucker, stay out of my way. Yo, Dave, I'm gonna pull the trigger. You know that your wife doesn't like it when we say certain words. You only speak the truth. Yeah. Dude, you're gonna suck as a dad. This motherfucker stinks. Crazy motherfucker, stay out of my way. Dave Man do. Dave Man. Dave Man do. Dave Man do. Remix.com. Man camping down with Dave Man do. Said Dave, what that friend gon' do? Bought a 6-pack